time to start. Let me enable all the voices. Alright, hello everyone and welcome to our Project Terra game dev stream. I am Felix aka Laxen and I will do the game development, and with me in the voice chat today are Henne aka Geflügel and Flora aka Teflora.
Hi.
Also we have our soundboard with us.
You must be
No,
No, okay.
I got to play it, Felix. You
Okay,
haven't-
play it
must
again.
recover all the energy immediately, Mega Man.
Oh, Mega Man.
Yeah.
That's hasn't been some time.
Mega Man.
Has been some time. And we also have a music bot, which I now have to set pause off, which is a weird way to say resume.
You know what? We also haven't had this sound in a while. This is always funny.
With the glass ceiling broken, all the oppressed groups shall prosper, especially the most oppressed group of all, gamers.
Games.
Gamers.
Oh man.
Okay. Thanks, Mark Nefedov, for gifting subs to people, to one people actually.
Thank you. And we got another subscription by Teflora. And was it? Let me scroll.
L.
And L 2022 saying howdy. Also Flora said, feeling old yet? The metric released 52 months ago. Today. Is that true? No, that can't be true.
Different metric.
It is.
Huh? What?
Yeah.
It's
It has already been 52 months since Matrix released. So long.
Yeah, I mean it is pretty long considering it feels like yesterday that movie came out. I mean, you could have also said, oh, Top Gun released like 10 months or something. I'm not sure when that movie came out. Or, of course, the classic, feeling old yet? Skyrim released like X months ago.
Okay. God damn it. Okay, yeah, I'm still having a little bit of a cold, so excuse my coughing occasionally. Like a lot of people, I've been ill recently. For me, it was like being ill ever since the beginning of the year. I think I did some vacation for 2 weeks, and that's the only time where I didn't have anything. And then as soon as I'm back, I'm catching another cold or something. Anyway,
Well, it's good that you didn't catch it while you were on holiday.
yeah, it's probably
Yes,
better
well.
that way. At least I could have some holidays.
It would have been a bad time.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, so today we will have another game dev stream after some time. Here's like a nice review of the month's February last year. We streamed a total of 0 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah, we entirely skipped the months. I'm sorry for that.
Wow!
Yeah, it's a big achievement.
But yeah, we will try to do streams a bit more regular from now on.
Yeah, show the other achievements as well.
The other achievement, yeah, what was it? Okay, we also got the top channel emotes. Somehow people still used emotes in February, I guess.
I mean, on different channels, I assume, because you
yeah,
can.
that makes sense, yeah.
Because on Twitch you can use them in
Chats sent in channel exactly 0. I'm really disappointed. So little chat activity. It's like we're streaming on our own for 0 seconds. And then we got 0 times we streamed in February. The top
Amazing.
clips in February, there are no clips. Jeez, this is sad. Here's to making more memories together as a community.
This sounds kind
What a
of-
great month, guys. was our most successful month as streamer. But it
That
was
was
still
the-
yeah.
It was a really good recap, thank you.
Yeah. Glad we could see that. Maybe Twitch likes to be passive aggressive that way. But yeah, so we still, even though we didn't stream, we did work on Project Terra. So there's a bit of stuff to show. I can show a few things that we worked on. Need to think. What was the last thing we did in stream actually? I don't quite remember.
I can check it real quick on the stream. I think we worked on enemies actually.
Hmm.
Yeah, you worked on the hedgehog enemy or something. No, not hedgehog. Some other enemy.
The armored thing enemy. Yeah.
Armor enemy. Right.
Okay, that reminds me. Yes, things like this is probably one of the biggest things we can show off. I'm not sure if it's too early to show off. I will just show it anyway. Here, we got our first village, like our first houses. There's trees here. Let me. Okay.
Developed very nicely already.
Yeah, Stefan was hard at work here. You might actually see that the village will evolve over time. So that's interesting, isn't it? I wonder what that's about.
Spoiler.
Okay.
Spoiler. It's actually not an action RPG, but instead a town building game.
Oh no. Yeah. So that's something we worked on.
It's a new. We're actually working on an Animal Crossing spin-off.
Exactly.
One asked, did Teflora finish the crafting UI? And I did not, because I'm not working on it.
The crafting UI was mostly something that Stefan worked on. Persona non grata Endset, so beautiful, yeah. Yeah, especially this map is. I'm sure Persona non grata will appreciate this map. That's another map we are currently working on. It's the first map that will feature more interesting puzzles. I'm not sure I want to show those.
No,
I mean, I can show the first few puzzles. They're not really a big spoiler, but I will not show much more.
No.
Okay, let me just go to the right state here.
I don't think I've actually seen this yet.
Oh, the teleporter was moved here. Oh no!
Oh yeah.
Stop it!
Yes.
Wing. Okay.
Ah right, you can actually choose where you go, right?
Yeah, this is I made something where you teleport in different locations depending on the plot state. But maybe some of the markers have been moved, so I have to manually jump back.
Yeah, that might be because I told Parisa that she can move the marker too.
Oh yeah, okay, that's probably
I didn't
why.
know about the plot thing that you...
Yeah, I need to explain this still. Anyway, so here's something you can do.
No,
okay.
You can't actually use the jetpack as a player, just...
No, you can. Okay, actually, I defeated those enemies, and because of that, I automatically solved all the puzzles. So.
Shit game.
Shit game. So many bugs. Okay, let's move this here.
Let's pretend like the barrier was still here.
So I can do this here. Flop. And look at this. It's essentially like mini golf. That's what it is. You got mini golf in Project Terra. Yay! Just three
a bit of Bailey's
hits.
Subscribed. For the
Anyway, so
29
that's
months.
something that happened. Yeah, a lot of equipment menu stuff. Maybe I can show that too.
Also, did we? I'm not sure if you mentioned it already, but thanks to Matt Drusian for the sixth month, and they said, "Hello, 6 months now. Wow, more than I expected."
Wow, yeah, thank you. Also, thanks to a bit of Bailey's, if you didn't say so yet.
Yeah, I did, but
okay.
you never listened to me.
Yeah, I never do. Okay, so we got like the weapon swap menu, which is already working, and yeah, also the equipment. That's actually the equipment menu, right? So you can also already equip stuff, and they even got an effect. You might notice there's actually more stuff you can equip now, because you not only have one weapon and a few equipments, you can actually extend your equipment with additional gems, if we call them gems. This is still work in progress, so the HUD is not finished yet, but the look and feel already is more or less. You also got equipment. There's a lot of stuff where you can put things in, so that is something that's new about Project Terra. There will be more than 4 types of equipment. And yeah, what else? I'm probably forgetting things, but
What else? You mean?
progress-wise to show off.
I mean, there are some puzzle elements and stuff like that, and some
Right,
maps.
yeah. Had to work
I'm not
on a
sure
lot
how-
of.
I'm not sure how impressive they are without the proper graphics and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
There's still like the technical implementation is roughly done. It's just graphics are still missing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And of course, a nice map and stuff like that. Some other maps, and yeah, progress.
Lots of progress. Right, so let's see, what else do we have? Parallax, because that's something that I've been working on recently, and look at those amazing parallaxes. They're not there. They're gone.
I'm not seeing anything right
Yeah,
now, but I'm behind, I think.
because I broke them. I have some screenshots and videos as proof that they used to exist.
Yeah, okay, I see.
Let me show you.
I got the receipts.
I have the receipts. Maybe if I find the image here. Look, there used to be Parallax, I swear. It looked like this. This is just some graphics we pulled over from Crosscode. Yeah, I decided to actually change parallaxes in a way. Like back then I started implementing them more or less like maps, like our height maps roughly. But then I realized that it actually doesn't make much sense to use tiles for parallaxes, because in Crosscode we barely used tiling. We usually had huge graphics that we just assembled using tiles, and it would be more effective to just place larger graphics in the background and move them around more freely, decoupled from tiles, so you can also more easily make them overlap and stuff like that. So that's why I decided to change the whole approach and make it more based on entities. So wasted a bit of time with that, but that's okay. That's how things go sometimes. Anyway, that's something.
Gifted subs.
Oh my gosh!
Oh no.
More subs
so
for
much.
have been gifted.
Mark Nevedov.
Thank you so much.
What?
And welcome everybody to the subscription tier 1, I guess. So now we got a lot of notifications. I didn't even mention the basics, even though I know most people know this, but I'm gonna say it again before I forget. So if anybody here has any question about what we're doing or anything else, just ask, and maybe use @ReidigeFish or @Geflügel or @Teflora. This helps us to spot the question, because sometimes we're too distracted, don't pay attention, and don't feel ashamed to ask multiple times if you don't miss the question. If we missed a question,
we hate you.
yeah, maybe don't do it every minute, but it's okay to repeat questions. There's actually a question here that I saw that was already 7 minutes ago. Let me see. How did you or all in core get started in the gaming industry? I'm just about to complete the ITA, Information Technical Assistant, and then wanted to study informatics. Direction of applied informatics science or informatic engineering. I would like to become a game developer myself later on. Can you give me there maybe 1-2 tips or path that I can take? I mean, everybody has a different story about how they got into game development. It's actually something where a lot of people end up, even though they didn't really study game development properly. I mean, we are here in Germany and we really still can't properly study game development, but you can study a lot of things which are related to game development. So if you are about to study informatic or computer science, that's definitely something you can use in game development. I think good programmers are always something that people need. That's actually also how I started myself. So
I mean that, and there's also a lot of, I think a lot of media-related fields of study are also including like game dev parts and stuff like that.
There's Media Informatik in Germany. There's also, if you study something related to graphic design, things like that. This can also help depending on where your strengths are. So if you're interested in computer science or something like that, then that's definitely a good idea. Something I can suggest is try to stay more practical. If you study computer science in general, there's a lot of different directions you can go. There are the more scientific and more abstract fields which are less relevant for game development. So one of the best things you can do is simply study anything related to computer graphics. So that's a field that's always very high in demand when it comes to games. It's also very good to know about vector graphics, matrices and all these kind of things. So these are very strongly connected to video games in my opinion, especially if you do anything with 3D.
Yeah, that definitely.
Or even something somewhat 3D like the things we're doing here.
I think even 2D, it can be.
Yeah, even for 2D, vector graphics are just if you need to, like, if you really want to do dynamic games with complex mechanics, math is actually surprisingly important. But the good news is you don't need to learn a lot of math, especially not like this kind of you need to prove this and that kind of math. It's like it's mostly about linear algebra, really. That's most of it. Maybe some calculus too, like taking the derivative can be useful sometimes. So learning about derivatives and understanding those can be useful. But for the most part, it's just vectors and matrices and these kind of things.
And I think for a lot of things, you can also just look on the internet for some help. And
But these days that's probably a lot easier than it used to be, to be honest.
But it's still good to have like the basics, so you understand what you need to search for example. That's
it's like I'm like the cool thing about math is if you have a good understanding of the basics, is in very many situations you can just think about the issue and you can find a solution on your own without having to search for stuff. At least that's very often what I managed to do with the math knowledge I have. And I was always decent to good in math, but I never studied it excessively. I only had it as a side topic, like next to computer science. But yeah, it's.
I would also say you don't really need to understand the deep depths of those math functions. Why, for example, cross product. You don't need to understand why it works. You only need to know what it does.
Yeah, stuff like how does a vector intersect with a plane? How do you compute that? How you compute the distance between a point and a vector? Those are things which are really not all that difficult. And like, understanding the basics and then being able to search those, because to be fair, I forget these calculations myself all the time. But if you have like a rough understanding, looking for them and understanding what you need to do, it helps a lot. So,
yeah, exactly.
This is all given if you want to do game development which has complex mechanics. You can actually do a visual novel or something like that, and you don't need any math whatsoever. So it really depends on what kind of game you do in the end.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a good overview.
Yeah.
It's good to have an overview just in general, how things are put together in a game, like how pixels work, how graphics are put on the screen.
And
stuff like that. You have so many resources nowadays. It's very easy to learn. I would even say you don't need to explicitly study those things.
No. The thing is, definitely don't study math, because the way you study math is the focus is so different. I mean, it depends probably on where you study it, but my experience is that studying math is not so much about learning how to use math, but really, let's see if you can understand math in like the worst way possible to get it explained. It's more like, we don't even explain the tool. Here's the proof. And you don't even know what the heck they're talking about. That's how you learn math at university. And it's like, we learned things that I already had at school, that I managed to use in school, and I still didn't understand what was happening at university. That's how bad it was. So, like, you can skip anything math related. Any lecture focusing on math is probably way too much in the academic direction to be useful for something practical. But studying computer science, computer graphics, you will actually learn a lot of relevant math techniques, because you do learn about homogeneous coordinates, which is, if you do 3D graphics, very important. And those can be confusing too. So that's, but they're never about proofs for the most part, but much more about understanding how to use those tools and why they work the way they work and stuff like that. So, yeah, studying math is basically just learning how to prove stuff. That's more or less correct. Yeah, they're not interesting in just using the stuff, because that's too easy. You need to prove it. So, yeah, as I said, it's much more focused on an academic direction, I think. So, yeah. But yeah, yeah, OpenGL. Even though it's not fun working with OpenGL sometimes, but yeah, that's something definitely important to learn. Even though there are now new APIs, but I heard they're even worse in terms of usability, but probably more flexible.
True, but I mean, I think it's almost similar. The new APIs are just more granular. You have to set up a few more things, but you have more control over it.
Do they have a stupid state machine that you need to? We always have to make sure you. Okay.
Away from that.
That is great, because that's just the most annoying thing about OpenGL.
More having objects, like some OpenGL things use objects now.
Yeah.
And they try to use that more, so you have one object and modify over time, and then
that's so much better, honestly. OpenGL is such a pain sometimes in that regard. Like the magic about OpenGL is I actually had to do something OpenGL related for Parallax again, and the first thing that always happens when you do something with WebGL is you don't see anything. And now try to figure out why you don't see anything, because there can be so many things. You don't get error messages. There's so many ways you can do something wrong, and that's why you don't see anything. For me, it was actually very stupid. I just cleared something after I was rendering the Parallax thing, so obviously I didn't see anything. But yeah, you have to find that there could have been a lot of other issues. Yeah.
With DirectX, they're actually really
Hopefully
cool
no
tools.
one asked my question while I'm gone. Back in an hour. Alright. Yeah.
With DirectX, you have actually really cool tools where you can just debug the shader code and stuff, similar to how you would debug CPU code. You can go step by step.
Where can you do that?
With DirectX. DirectX has
yeah.
a debug API, basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's useful.
Yeah, you can render out every step and go step by step, and it's really cool. It's really useful.
Yeah, all those cool technology I am not working with. But we got other cool stuff. We got the web stack, we got HTML. So that's actually something I will work with today. So maybe I can slowly transition to what I'm working on today. So I will not so much implement Parallax, in that I will implement the tools that we will be using to place Parallax entries. I got some stuff already created in the background, but I just need to make the last few steps, actually create the controller where we can select Parallax entries, move them around, and also spawn them, right? Like here with the swaps, I think I actually implemented swaps partly in streams as well. So here we can just press space and we get an entry. And that's something I will do now. So the goal is I press space and some Parallax entry should show up. That's the goal for now. And then we'll see how far we get from there. Okay, I will now start programming.
Balls.
There's a question. Have you ever encountered problems where JS V8 was a performance bottleneck? Honestly, it's a bit hard to say really, because it's hard to sometimes say what makes your stuff slow if you don't have it implemented with something else. Right? For instance, right now we are aware that Project Terra doesn't run exactly fast on machines without a GPU. And we don't know if that's because web technology or because we just overdid it with our rendering pipeline. So it's a bit hard to say right now. We did have issues with the web stack for crosscode, but not usually. Yeah, okay. Some stuff sometimes crosscode was slow, and that probably was partly because of JavaScript, but partly because some things haven't been implemented all this efficiently, or we just overdid it with the amount of NPCs, or we didn't use types that consistently, and that's why maybe sometimes stuff was slow in crosscode. But for the most part, we had issues like random lags because just Node WebKit or like that version of JavaScript and Chromium had weird performance issues that were just weird, and we couldn't really say what it was, but just changing the Node WebKit version often fixed stuff. So that's usually the kind of issues we had. And I think that's about it.
SimCity.
Yeah.
I think somewhat of a troublemaker is the garbage collection.
Maybe. Though you don't
Because that can make the game hiccup sometimes.
Yeah. It's something that's really hard to analyze though. Very often, like I had very often situations where the game was performing weirdly. Like I have those micro stutters, and most of the time it was because the Node WebKit version was old. And then I just had to change versions, and then it was running better. I was actually trying the game on a MacBook, on which I installed Windows. I didn't try it on Mac yet. Still have to get to this part. But it was performing really, really badly. Just fluid, and then every few seconds was just going down to 20 frames or something, and then 60, 20 frames, 20, back and forth. And I was like, what the heck is going on? I was trying to figure something out. Why, like, what are we doing wrong? Why is this happening? And then I decided to just change the graphics, the GPU driver, and installed a new driver. And then the game suddenly was running, well, it was running in 30 FPS, but it was running on stable 30F, which was a lot better. And like, those are the situations where you don't really know where exactly is the issue. If it's really the web stack, or if it's our rendering pipeline, or if it's some weird stuff and the technology stack we're using. And that to me, that's the most frustrating thing about web technologies really. Is like sometimes it's hard to say where the performance issues come from. Yeah. But otherwise, and I always have these times where I wish I was working with something else, but those are fortunately just sometimes moments where I think that, and for the most part I'm actually happy with the technology. Okay, let's see. Look at this code, you guys. It's TypeScript.
Look at this photograph.
Okay, let's see. I think I will just copy the stuff from the swaps.
Important question, Felix. That will most likely put you to shame internally.
Hmm.
Do you guys have no crunch policy? What's your philosophy? Take care, Lea. Hi. Well, we are constantly living in fear of Felix's whip. Crunch whip, obviously.
Definitely.
we actually like it crunchy. Our cereals, I mean.
Yes, the
Because
cereals.
the cereals need to be crunchy.
Oh my gosh, no. I don't
I mean,
think
we don't really.
we
have
don't
much
have.
of
I don't think we have a crunch problem right now.
right now.
Hopefully, not a huge crunch problem. I think we have, if anything, more like sometimes I get the feeling things are rather too relaxed for us, so that's maybe more the problem. But you know, better that than people crunching themselves to death or something like that. So we did have crunch moments with crosscode, and those usually happen when we are getting closer to deadlines, and we are currently in a position where we don't have any nearby deadlines which are really critical. So that's why we can take things slowly, or more or less kind of like just work our regular hours without overdoing things. Beyond that, though, we don't really have any crunch policy.
Indeed. Another question? No, actually. Well, actually, there was a comment to me that I kind of forgot to answer. I thought Geflügel's name was like Gfuel until I realized how it's actually written. Yeah, I get it a lot. I didn't. Fun fact: until a lot of people mentioned it online, like first time, like a few years ago, I didn't even know what Gfuel was. It is like a. I mean, how old is Gfuel actually? Gfuel. I mean, it has become like some kind of meme, but 11 years already. But I think it hasn't been that big of a deal for longest time, right? Anyway, it's very funny. I get it a lot. Yes. By the way, the current playlist is like the usual one, right?
It's like this SoundCloud relax music. Yeah, feel free to add music as long as it's music and not annoying VTubers. Thank you.
Felix, like the stuff that's on SoundCloud usually is, if it's VTuber music, it's usually the instrumental stuff. So there's nothing for you to complain about.
Okay.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. So,
how you doing, chat? How you doing?
Who's
oh, Stefan is here. Hello.
Hello.
Personally, I prefer
Unity.
Oh no.
Wow.
Here you go again.
That
Bit of
joke will
Bailey's.
never get old. I'm sure.
Never.
Never.
Bit of Bailey's posted something in Discord related to crunch.
Okay, let me see that.
Oh no, it's from the baking. from the fucking baking show, the British baking show.
What is this?
I don't know, it's dumb.
What is this?
Crisp.
Great British bake-off.
Crisp. Oh my gosh.
I mean, one of the greatest shows of our time.
Yeah, it is. It's really
I don't
funny.
know that one. What is
You
this?
don't know?
You
don't-
should watch the Great British Bake Off.
Yeah, it is.
Damn.
It is pretty funny at times. It is.
Oh damn.
I mean, I think it was. It also had its fair share of controversies in recent years, but I mean, what I saw of the show now and then was really quite hilarious.
There's something really nice and relaxing about watching British people bake shit, you know, and talk about it while doing it in a British accent.
That's true.
It's just very jolly.
It's quite the jolly endeavor, mate.
Quite a jolly.
Yup. Okay, by the way, I showed off some stuff in the beginning, Stefan, so people saw the village map. I hope that's okay.
But did we also see the village people?
No village people yet. We still have to add those.
Did you show the different stages?
Yeah, actually I did. So, I wonder what that is about.
Mhm.
Big question mark. So let me see. But yeah, I'm now starting to work on the Parallax stuff. Parallax. Parallax. Okay, here we go. Paste boss. The funny thing about Parallax is that now it's everything is 2D suddenly. So if I get the position, get point line, I don't need this. I can just say
What is the chill music in the background?
Mark with the tier 1 back-to-back 2-month subscription. Thank you very much. Is there NPCs yet? There is NPCs yet. There are indeed NPCs. Like both like in the engine, and there's also a lot of NPCs that we designed and planned.
Oh wait.
And it's going to be 100% serious, alright? No joking in this game.
no.
I mean, the
No,
game will
no
be
memes
extremely-
at all.
No memes.
Never,
Definitely.
never,
Never. We would never do this.
What are memes even? Is Yui in chat?
How do you plan the story? Lots of talking. And writing it
Yeah.
down.
Ah, she's not. Shame.
Yeah,
We don't
lots
really
of
talk about
talking.
it very often, but we do have a external writer this time around.
What?
Yep.
Did you already say
We
who
still
it is?
don't have announced who
We
that
still
is,
didn't
because-
announce our writer. Yeah. Well,
Because it is like not because like he doesn't want to, but because we
It's a
always
big
forget when
deal.
we make a post, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's fine."
Yeah, I mean, we will get there. To be fair, like, we have been planning the story for a long time already, like right from the beginning, pretty much. But we didn't really get to the part where we were creating cutscenes and actually writing dialogue. Yet we're actually getting close to try to do that a bit. But
Yeah, we have already some dialogues and. Like,
yeah, we do have
scenes.
some dialogues written down here and there,
Not that
but
they are fixed, but
no, I mean, everything is still pretty open in my opinion still, but we have a lot of, let's say, like, I think the story is much more planned ahead compared to Crosscode. So
oh yes.
Crosscode was a lot of things, like, we did have a rough idea in mind, but a lot of things were very open until we got there, and then we just came up with some stuff.
To write on things in something like a shared word file. Yeah, something like that. It's more like
It's funny, in the
Notion.
beginning, yeah, it was pretty much like in Crosscode and also for Terra, it was just a bunch of Google Docs, which are essentially Word documents, but we actually now moving to Notion, which so far worked out pretty nice.
yeah.
And I didn't
Notion
notice
is
the annoying AI features too much yet.
I don't know what you mean. I love AI feature.
Oh no, okay.
I mean I use them in WebStorm too, right? You're using AI right now.
Probably, yeah, that's true.
When it like predicts what variable you are probably trying to access, that's AI.
Well, yeah. Sure.
That's
Trying
that's
to
true.
read, like understand you, and then like if you're in a certain file, then it.
That's
Then
true. But I
then at some
mean, there was at least recently some kind of like small controversy about Notion where somebody said, oh, Notion is now shoving this. Oh, how about I write this text section for you using some ChatGPT like AI? And that's if you just go to Notion, press space, that's really the first option you get. Like,
Hopefully,
it just wants you to use those features very badly, apparently.
Yeah, I
hopefully-
also want to say like Copilot is already a absolute like copy pasta monster, as Mark said, which is for Copilot's for for VS Code, right? Which is basically the same as the WebStorm suggestion. But you can literally ask that thing what you want to do.
Let's just
It's
hope that,
inevitable, as
let's just hope that it never asks Felix to leave his wife and get with it, as many AIs do these days.
Okay. What?
No, there was like this jokey. It wasn't really jokey. It was some sort of event that happened in some testing of some AI that it asked some developer or some internal tester to please leave his wife or something. I don't know the exact context.
I think it's because most of these kind of just predict the next word, like ChatGPT is just predicting the next word.
I think it was. I think it was in the last John Oliver. Is it John Oliver? I always forget the dude, the politics dude who has his show.
John Oliver. Yeah.
John Oliver.
Yeah, that's right.
John Oliver, the funny dude who talks politics. Yes, his latest.
A British person.
A British person.
British person.
British. His latest last week tonight episode on YouTube was about AI, and
actually I saw that one too. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that had the example with the AI that wanted the dude to leave his wife, but he actually explained that it's not really a fully self-aware AI. It's just an AI that learns.
I love the segment where they just made an AI on Twitter tweeting stuff like other people tweet stuff on Twitter, and they had to disable it very quickly because it was getting very controversial.
Yeah,
very quickly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if you've heard, but there's also, and this is a good opportunity for me to get into this topic. There has been like this AI VTuber that has become rather popular, and she actually got banned on Twitch for rather quickly, for at least for a temporary amount of time, because she started questioning the Holocaust at some point, because of some stuff she learned from Twitch chat.
Oh my gosh.
And yes, so the developers had to very quickly build in some filters so that kind of shit doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean that somebody somewhere on Twitter I saw this also, like where somebody said, yeah, you know, this we need some kind of new Turing test, because the old one apparently is now kind of solvable, because like you can actually have some decent conversations now with an AI. But you know, you could just make sure that your AI doesn't do anything stupid or controversial, and that's probably more difficult because people do a lot of controversial stuff on the internet.
That reminds me, I'm not sure if it's actually true or if that was just because some super right-wing dickhole posted that. That allegedly Elon Musk said, "Oh, we need AIs or something that are not woke," and I'm like, okay, this sounds pretty stupid and dumb even for Elon Musk's standards. So I'm just assuming
nothing is too dumb for this guy.
Yeah, but come on, like, what does it even mean? What does it even mean? Oh yeah, our AIs should actually talk about the Holocaust and say it's not actually real. Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, I could maybe see that he might say that, but considering the guy who posted that was some super alt-right shit, I was assuming that he just did some wishful thinking there or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Define woke. I mean, woke is one of those words that basically means nothing these days. So, except it does mean that you are not sleeping. That's something it doesn't mean, but the other meanings are kind of slippery and mostly nonsensical. Anyway,
progress.
Towards less controversial topics, JRPGs, right? Pretty cool thing.
And I wasn't aware that was seen in Japan as a negative.
Me neither. I think most people weren't aware of that until
I was aware that they didn't like how people have seen JRPGs during that era where arguably like a lot of RPGs that made it to the West were kind of lackluster and samey in design. But that time is long over, and we have
Yeah.
really good games coming out from that area. That, I mean,
Yeah, but the thing.
so maybe we should start with a different term, that's more positive to say, like,
Yeah, maybe.
Let's
Game.
try to make people use a different genre term. Yeah.
But then again, I mean, when
JRPG is just I would be
I
glad if
don't
you
call
use
Kingdom
something.
Hearts a JRPG. I call it an action RPG.
That's true.
Yeah, that's always easier to say. The problem is with JRPG is like, I mean, it does. In my opinion, I have to say that because some people believe JRPG just means an RPG from Japan, which I think is stupid. To me, it's supposed to be like some kind of more narrowed down type of RPG, which is more focused on a fixed story with a fixed cast of characters, where you are not supposed to be one character, but you're more like following the story of a cast of characters. So it's more like this kind of perspective that defines a JRPG to me. And yeah, the word JRPG is just bad because like it's not about being in Japan, but it's just how it ended up to be.
Being in Japan. Yeah.
That certain style of RPG came mainly from the East.
Then again,
Yeah, I mean, that's why. It makes sense. I understand why people started calling it JRPG, but it's just unfortunate.
Counterpoint. I talked with some people, even some who are from Japan, and they're like, "Yeah, that's true." But then again, I mean, people use regional terms for genres in music all the time, and no one cares.
Well,
Like
that's true.
K-pop, J-pop, Britpop, Eurotrash, Eurobeat.
I mean,
But I
I
guess-
don't think people have a problem with
it's
J-pop
true.
as well, right? It's just that they maybe the Japanese people don't want their games to be associated with that term because it got that negative connotation.
Yeah, I mean, that I can understand. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't aware of that until it was funny because, I mean, maybe I can say that, but somebody contacted me because for some reason they wanted to get a statement from me because we are making something that people call a JRPG, and wanted to know what do you think about that? Do you call it an action RPG because JRPG is controversial and stuff like that? And I told him, like, to me, JRPG makes sense as a word. And then I sent him those videos about extra credits. I'm not sure if you know those. There was actually a video series from Extra Credits about what is the difference between Western RPG and JRPG. And I thought those were always very much spot on, because they really tried to define what is like the difference that people care about when they like one genre or the other. And when I was sending him these videos, I noticed, because the last video said, yeah, so why are West RPGs better? And then I realized, oh, okay, because like they actually were talking about how JRPGs were not very popular recently, and Western RPGs were kind of getting more popular during this time frame. And there was really those few years where I think Western RPGs were a lot more popular, at least in the Western media. And JRPGs got a lot of bad press, and you can find a lot of things like that apparently. I mean, and because of that, that's why I think those people started to hate this expression, especially from Japan, I guess. So it kind of makes sense.
Felix is emotionally.
We got a really good message by a bit of Bailey's. You make up a word like Metroidvania, like crosscode could be a Zelda enigma.
Zelda Enigma. A Zelda Enigma, oh my gosh.
I mean, in some ways, I guess, I mean, you have to remember that genre terms are very wishy-washy anyway, especially in terms of like RPG.
course,
Like
yeah.
RPG gets used for so much stuff these days. Like, oh yeah, this game has
RPGs, yeah, it's like, it's a
I
very...
mean, what does it mean? Does it mean that there are stats that you can change? Because that's true for so many games these days. Or does it mean that you have like dialogue options or whatever? Or
I mean,
there's a story?
actually, again, I think this Extra Credits video actually does narrow it down very well how you could define the RPG, or at least how most people, I would believe, think of it. Like the one thing that Western RPGs and JRPGs kind of combine is something they call abnegation, something like this, and it's a kind of gameplay where you can just do stuff which is not extremely challenging and it makes you stronger. Like, there are difficult RPGs, but RPGs are this kind of genre where you can just do stuff to get stronger and then make stuff easier for you.
So basically, Felix, playing RPGs is like going to the gym.
Yes,
It's not very challenging all the time. Well, it is challenging in the long run.
it's
but it
work.
makes you strong.
It's not exactly challenging, it's work and you get stronger. Kinda, yeah, actually
I
kinda.
mean, funny enough, I think there are a lot of like apps that give you experience points for going to the gym.
Yeah.
Basically gamifying your.
I was going to say that's gamification. but
Yeah. But I just thought it was like.
A concept that is even used by bigger companies these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like more productivity.
it's called getting wages. No, I get it. I
Yeah,
get
for
what you
me,
mean.
like it's I mean, like maybe don't gamify their life and pay them more. You know,
Mm.
pay them a living wage. That could
Yes.
also help with their
Yes,
motivation.
Felix, pay us a living wage. Come on.
Wow,
What?
Yeah, you do. Soccer 100. It's called Krautrock because it's very healthy. It's very healthy. music. We got actually to the previous topic. I'm just gonna want to answer it before we forget.
Hmm.
Crosscode spoilers, please. If you haven't beaten Crosscode, like listen or don't listen. Felix will write Among Us in the code when we are done with the spoiler.
What?
You guys predicted AI will fail when questioned about itself. Microsoft was forced to shut down New Bing twice because it had constant mind breaks when asked about its existence. Yeah, right. John Oliver also talked about that. I
If
think
you
that
read it, it's so creepy.
yeah, it's creepy, but again, that wasn't.
Again, it's just predicting.
Yeah, it's just predicting. It wasn't really self-aware. It was just predicting something.
It just appears that way.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay,
Don't
Felix.
get too excited about it.
Okay, we are done with that. You have to write Among Us in the code real quick, so
Okay.
people know that the spoiler's over.
Among Us.
Okay,
Okay.
and you have to keep it there as a comment.
No, it's done. It's gone already.
Okay. Anyway, spoiler
You
over.
had your fun.
Yeah.
Yes, wages. They sell those McDonald's. Right.
Chicken
Yeah,
wages.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, I think genres are very complicated in many ways. I mean, even for
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
I think we talked about that some time ago on stream as well. Like music genres are also a big mess in many ways because you have so many sub genres and stuff like that.
Yeah, I like
In a
labels
way,
are always
people-
labels are always tricky.
Yeah.
When you try to
People kind of
categorize
choose
stuff.
Yeah, people kind of choose their own
Mm-hmm.
genres these days. You know, like I make.
Yeah.
You know, because it's often more like, oh yeah, I'm inspired by this, and that.
Yeah.
You know, so my
Yeah.
music is a combination of that.
Then again, when you tell people that they sound like inspired by this, then they get angry. But yeah, I get it.
I think it's the highest form of like critique if someone says this sounds like this, you know, in the sense that
I mean,
it reminds
it's-
me of this, and I think like yeah, it's
if it's
amazing.
well-regarded music. I mean, if you
Yeah.
tell someone, oh yeah, this reminds me a lot of like Barbie Girl from, was it Venga Boys? I thought, no, wait, who did Barbie Girl?
Even then, man, it's a classic.
Yeah, it's a classic. That's true. Damn it! All of those tracks are actually classics these days. But you know what I mean. This reminds me of Friday from Rebecca Black. I don't know.
Sorry.
By the way, Rebecca Black is pretty based these days, so nothing against her as a person. I wanted to say something. I mean, even for Crosscode, it was like always this thing like, oh yeah, it's like this action RPG, but then people say like, yeah, it's an action RPG, but it's a very puzzle-heavy action RPG. So
Yeah,
even
so it's
then
not a
again,
true action RPG
it's
anymore.
not a
It's a
Well,
very enigma.
because I talked to some person on some Discord about.
How dare you?
Yeah, sorry, it will never happen again. And then we talked a bit about Crosscode, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, I need to play it. It's really interesting that you have like this composer, not Terra, but the other one who did work for our DLC, because he liked some tracks he made for another game. I think it was something Blue Revolver or something, some shmup. Then we talked about other games that he is somewhat famous for, One Step from Eden.
Yeah.
And then when you look at like One Step from Eden and genres, and you're like, oh, you would also most likely say something. Oh yeah, it's a Mega Man Battle Network inspired roguelike. Or you could also say it's a very action-heavy roguelike deck builder. something. It's like genres. It's very vague.
It's always like categorization. I think it's for the most part impossible. You cannot find a perfect categorization that doesn't have exceptions or things are mixed or gray in between things. So it's
try to categorize like people or even character archetypes. Oh yeah, he's like a nerd with certain jock archetypes and artsy streaks in terms of something.
But it's like something human trying to categorize things, and it's also to some extent good to talk about things, but maybe it's sometimes good to keep in mind that a perfect categorization is not possible, and it's no point in arguing too much about things sometimes.
But I mean, I have to agree.
But people like to do that a lot.
It's kind of
arguing
my fault,
about categories.
I mean, the main point, the beginning point was that some JRPG developers were a bit annoyed by how JRPGs were used, and that's valid. I mean, obviously it's valid because it's the experience that they were living. I mean,
I think it just really doesn't help if you have this and you're kind of like your nation is connected to the term. It's like a specifically kind of annoying.
And then there were like the late 2000s, early 2010s that were a bit disrespectful towards Japanese developers from like Western perspective at times. Like certain developers and certain journalists were like a bit dismissive of Japanese
quick question.
Stuff. Yes.
Do the Weltmeister icons have to have the same size, or can I make a bigger one?
No, please use the same size.
Okay.
I don't think they are not fixed. They are fixed width, but it will just clip.
What Weltmeister icons?
Just the icons under image icons.
The database icons, Felix.
Oh,
the icons for
they are I think pretty fixed size. Yeah.
A bit of Bailey's again. Remember there was this one YouTube video called Crosscode, the new Isekai MMO?
Oh man, that triggered people so much.
What?
Crosscode called the new Isekai MMO JRPG. Why would you call it an MMO? It doesn't help. I mean, people already thought a lot of
right.
It was an MMO. Yeah. And then, oh no, it's not a JRPG. It's not from Japan. It's a German game. So we call it a JRPG.
Avatar is not anime, actually. It's an anime.
Yeah.
Wait. We have
the sound, Hannah. We have the sound.
How did I miss this opportunity?
I do say that the creator himself, Monty did in fact refer to this as an anime.
The sound actually gets twice as funny with the background music.
That's true.
It's
Which
not
reminds
isekai
me,
either.
I should turn on the volume.
At least not properly.
Yeah.
Then again, most isekai animes that are not actually isekai these days, because they are not actually in another world. At least in terms of like there are so many fantasy animes that have like somewhat isekai like tropes and gaming inspired tropes that aren't really
think
isekai
about
goddamn
Forspoken.
Oh, I didn't even think about that actually. I forgot that exists.
Goddamn Forspoken.
Goddamn Forspoken. Yeah, thing is, in Germany you often forspoke. Versprech. But again, what does forspoken actually mean? Vorhergesagt?
Yeah, like it's foretold.
Foretold, yeah, okay. Weisgesagt. Also nice. Vision of Escaflow, my beloved. Actually a good isekai classic. Crosscode, I can't believe they made an MMO in RPG Maker.
Thank you.
Souls-like JRPG with platforming elements. I mean, what is what is usually the term how we describe crosscode, like at conventions and stuff?
Action
What,
RPG.
what usually was it, Felix? Was
Uh,
it just like action RPG, a retro-inspired action RPG?
a
with
retro-inspired
puzzle?
action RPG with lots of puzzles. Yeah. It's
And
not.
again, retro-inspired is also very vague, but it gets the point across in a way.
Yeah, I mean, action RPG was, I think, the most
Yeah.
defining genre here. And to me, that still is mostly because a lot of people think a JRPG has turn-based combat, and a lot of people already thought CrossCode had turn-based combat just looking at it. So that's why.
CrossCode. Balls drawing simulator.
That's why I thought action RPG helps. People still
I mean,
thought
you can also say it's just an action game, you know.
Okay, with RPG.
And then say these are our focal points. You know, we use these categories in early game development when games literally were only one thing. Like this is jump and run. You jump and run. That's the game. Done.
And then Mega Man, it's jump and shoot.
Yeah.
Jump and shoot, man.
And over time we always change, right? I remember we called games beat 'em ups at one point, but now games we call them fighting games. You know.
Yeah, but that is actually that was actually a German misnomer, I think. Beat 'em ups have
Yeah, that's what I
been
meant.
like- yeah.
That's what I meant. Like we change these categories around, and we should. Like, why not? You know, we kind of invented Soulspawn or Souls-like.
I mean, isn't beat 'em
mean
ups
games
used?
that have like big odds, you know, that give you the satisfaction of overcoming.
I mean, the thing is beat 'em up still used as a genre? Because
No,
the
that's what I
genre-
meant. Like we called it a fighting game.
No, I mean that's the thing. Fighting game and beat 'em ups are not the same. They never were really the same, because beat 'em ups are games like Final Fight where you go from left to right and beat up a lot of enemies, and fighting games are one-on-one fighters usually.
Yeah.
I mean,
Similar to like hack and slash, but without slashing.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, Golden Axe is a beat 'em up as a genre, but it was usually called a hack and slash. Yeah,
Like
right.
hack and slash, also this is probably also like depending on the location where you are. I once saw someone like Japanese people calling Neo a hack and slash. And personally, for me, that's not a hack and slash game.
Yeah, hack and slash usually implies that it's more that
Or
it's
Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
You know, like that kind of like lots of enemies, very weak. You mash buttons to
Yeah,
win.
right. Yeah, right.
That's sort of what I.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the hack and slash, it's like, if you just think about the terms you're using, yes, you're hacking and you're slashing.
Damn, I
Great.
just realized something. Stefan, you did implement a tracking 2D controller, right?
Yes. You wrote a new one.
No, I didn't. I just may have to use it because I just realized that because Parallax actually don't use 3D coordinates, they use 2D coordinates.
Oh yeah. I thought like you wrote one and now you realized that
No.
I have written one. Yeah, you can
let
use
me
it. It's called Dragon Controller 2D, I think.
Oh yeah, there it is. Oh my gosh, I hope.
I-
Let's see if everything works. You
Yeah,
can also
like-
select
like-
multiple things with it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It should be. It's. I think it's. Yeah, it should be. Yeah, it's just.
I mean, if
it's
something
just
doesn't
Dragon
work.
Controller 3D, but just for 2 axes.
Okay.
So, what did you just work on, Felix?
I'm working on the controller to move around parallax entries.
No, what type of controller you mean?
Oh
What
shit!
did you
What did
talk
I do?
No, the term you just mentioned.
Dragon controller?
Just.
More like dragging these nuts. Okay,
Oh my God, Henry.
okay.
You wanna end
We
it?
can go on. Yeah, right. In
You make my cold come back, Hannah.
yes, good.
Okay.
In retro FPS genre, they recently established the term Wolfendoom. Yeah, okay, that's really dumb. But I mean, I guess we should just call crosscode like a throw and slash, throw and
No,
slash,
it's a
and
Zelda Enigma.
Zelda Enigma.
I like that term. Good job.
Was it like,
Zelda
Good job.
Enigma.
Zelda Ligma?
Let's just call Project Terra Zelda Enigma just to
I've
trigger
heard
people.
Yeah.
Heard that Shigeru Miyamoto recently died of Zelda Ligma.
Oh my god.
You just
Anna,
can't
stop
use
it.
Terra Enigma because Enigma is a thing now. Ligma.
Is Terranigma, yeah, Terranigma, these balls.
Terra Enigma.
I mean, the big question is, would you
You have
rather
to, like,
eat,
I don't understand why Square Enix is not capitalizing on this name, because such a catchy, unique name.
Yeah, Terranigma is a really nice name, actually. I mean,
But no, we gotta like re-release Final Fantasy VI
gotta-
with ugly blurred sprites. That's more important right now.
you gotta do some Octopath Travelers.
That's,
then
that's
again,
one of the things I actually like that they didn't do a like remake of Terranigma or anything, because like I don't trust Square
Yeah.
Enix in delivering.
I mean, considering some of the Chrono Trigger remakes they did, that also didn't really work all that well. Oh right, Terranigma is in licensing limbo. Yeah, it's like a big thing. Felix, what was the game you played rather recently? Was it Octopath Traveler 2? Or was it just Old Iron thing?
America.
It was this
Triangle.
triangle strategy, yeah. Still need to continue playing it.
The second or the third one?
It's just
That's
it's
most
just
of
one.
I totally... Sorry,
There's just
I
one
kinda-
triangular strategy. That's just one. Even though there's a
Okay.
triangle, it's just one game.
Wait, but didn't they at least announce the second one?
There's a second Octopath Traveler, as far as I know, which
yeah,
was
I'm getting
announced.
so confused with all of that. And did
And
you
then-
actually like? Was the whole Your Excellency was in Octopath Traveler, right? Not in Triangle.
Yeah, Octopath Traveler got on my nerves with writing, and I think Triangular Strategy was a lot better. Still not perfect, but it was a lot more
I mean,
doable,
I did
even
hear-
funny at times. So
I
yeah.
did hear that Octopath Traveler 2 is actually much better in terms of writing.
I mean, could be. I mean, if because Triangle Strategy is from the same team, so I guess maybe that got better. Would be nice to see.
That's true. Yes. So Felix, what kind of genre is that, you would say?
What?
Octopath Traveler. I mean, wait, nonsense.
that I would say is a classic RPG.
Yeah.
Tactics
But then
RPG.
again-
Tactics RPG. Not
Yeah, yeah.
Octopath Traveler. I mean, Triangle Strategy is very much a
Triangle
tactics
Strategy,
RPG.
right, that's what I mean.
Or strategy.
Um,
yeah, tactics RPG. I think that's TRPG
then
for
again-
short. Yeah.
Octopath Traveler is interesting.
I think TRPGs already exist somewhere else.
What?
Tabletop RPGs. I
That's
believe.
TDB or TD RPGs.
You don't mean TRPG, right? Because TRPG is usually used for tabletop RPG.
Okay,
or
maybe
like
people
tablet
just
paper.
use the same abbreviation for two things. That's
Yeah.
actually very possible, and it happens.
Yeah.
So,
It's actually very possible.
So-
like, don't check what the term map can mean,
yeah.
because it can mean very different things, and at least one of them is very yabe. But usually tabletop RPG is abbreviated as TTRPG actually. Oh, that's
Yeah. I
something.
mean, let's see what Wiki says. Wikipedia. What the heck is Final Fantasy Tactics?
A good game. I
Strategy,
heard.
SRPG, right?
Oh, maybe it's SRPG. That could be.
Yeah, but it's
Like
But-
this guy, yeah.
But then again, SRPG wouldn't make it. Wouldn't
Okay,
make
it's a
much sense
tactical role-playing
Yeah.
game. They
Because
call it
it's
the
actually not-
tactical TRPG. Yeah, so there is actually
Yeah.
or like simulation RPG. Okay, in Japan they call it simulation RPG.
The thing is, strategy wouldn't make much sense because it's very specifically tactic, not strategy.
What is the difference?
Because strategy is macro scale and tactic is micro scale.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and strategy is more like
TTRPG.
strategy is more like something like, I don't know. You plan. It's something like what's it called? Hearts of Iron, for example, is more strategy.
Okay.
And medieval is also partially strategy. But that's I have to admit, a very nerd thing to discuss. Like even for our
Okay.
for our standards. No, I actually wanted to say it's actually quite rather
That's why I
interesting.
don't like categories and labels.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's as I said, it's like it's normal that people use them, but it's pointless in trying to make it perfect.
I like the label cute if it's applied to me.
Okay.
I wouldn't use that to describe you.
Oh, that's not true. I've heard that. My mom once said that.
Yeah, but your mom is literally required by law to say that.
Yes, the German law actually. It's not a very well-known fact, but the German law, it's called the Mutterfürsorgeakt. No, wait, it's way too short. In Germany, it would have like a name like Mutterfürsorge moralisch Unterstützungs Garantie Versicherungsamt Vorsorgeakt something Gesetz
Und Transport.
Transport Schifffahrt. Anyway, that kind of derailed.
Schifffahrtskapitänsmütze.
Hier, Schifffahrtskapitänsmützen, Hersteller, Fabrikant, Verordnungsgesellschaft. I wanted to just say that Octopath Traveler is actually an interesting case because it's very highly inspired by the Saga series, like Romancing Saga and stuff. And Romancing Saga, of course, Japanese RPGs, very old, very venerated. However, the defining thing about those compared to like Final Fantasy and many other console RPGs of that time was that they did take a lot of quote-unquote traditionally Western aspects into them. Like you had a way more open story in Romancing Saga. You had like a way more typically Western pen and paper RPG inspired stat distribution and how stats worked. And some other things that also felt more akin to like tabletop RPGs and Western RPGs, despite also having a very JRPG combat system, of course. But it's just something that I just want to mention regarding this topic.
We just call it Project JRPG. I think that would be the most insensitive thing to do.
Especially now, let's just make an announcement. Project Terra renamed to Project JRPG. Because especially saying we want to make JRPG great again, and then everything will be perfect.
Wasn't there some stupid? What was the fucking context of that? That like some movie or some game coming along being like, yeah, we will revolutionize this and that genre of games, and then coming out with a really shitty game for it. I forgot what the context was.
Is it like from the Fable creator? Known for like
but that's
big.
also it. You mean Peter Molyneux?
Yeah.
Molyneux.
Probably pronounced Polino.
Yeah,
It's interesting how we didn't have an include method for bounds, right?
You didn't?
We don't.
No,
we have one for box 3D, but not for box 2.
Oh, okay. For box 2 I wrote something, I think. Is it not like intersect?
There's an intersect for another box, but I'm talking about includes a point. That one we don't have apparently. I will just add this now.
Oh, that's so easy though. Like,
yeah, sure.
We never needed that till now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we didn't. Apparently we didn't.
In Twitch chat.
In Twitch chat?
More like Peter Molyneux. PMTBS. So
funny joke.
Oh no. There's this amazing bot called Peter Molyneux, which just tweets like Peter Molyneux would come up with some ideas. Right. What was? I mean, I can't remember what it was. It was some really. It might have also been some anime or some movie that did this. That was like, yeah, we revolutionized this and this stuff, and then it was some complete bullshit. Yeah, right. It was this super shitty 3D anime that came out last year or something.
Here, Beam.
Sorry.
What was the name of it again? It was based on some manga, but had like this really bad 3D animation because the main guy responsible for the style and everything was like, yeah, I don't really care much for animation. I'm more of a live action guy, so I will just approach animation from the perspective of a live action dude. And then it looked like complete ass. X-Arm, right? X-Arm. No, X-Arms, right. It actually looked way worse than Berserk, because while Berserk had some problems, you actually still noticed that the people behind it actually understood animation to a degree. They just had some really big budget and production problems. The guy from X-Arm had zero respect of a bit of Bailey's or anyone who hasn't done so, who doesn't know about this project. Definitely watch the video of Kanipa X-Arm on YouTube. It's
Again, plugging
funny.
those VTubers.
It's not a VTuber. It's an anime.
Okay.
Kanipa is not a VTuber. What the fuck, dude?
I don't know. I didn't say anything. I was just assuming.
Why would I plug a VTuber in relation to a shitty anime?
Maybe they reviewed that too. I mean,
VTubers usually don't review anime.
Okay.
At least not in
that's because they're not anime. That makes sense.
They're not anime, so they can't.
Yeah.
No, I just posted it in chat. It's really funny and informative, and not even all that long. And I think I'm not sure if you've ever seen that, Felix, that video. I might have shown you at some point.
Yeah.
But it's pretty interesting. It's even you would likely enjoy it.
I think you probably showed me that one, yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny. It also goes into like anime. I mean, he actually references VTubers at some point as a counterexample, because some people said, "Oh yeah, this looks like Ruby," or this looks like some VTuber nonsense. And then he said, like, "Yeah, even if you dislike Ruby or VTubers, this is even worse for several reasons. One of the reasons being that VTubers at least are a completely different kind of production for stuff like that. I mean, they are usually mocap stuff and stuff like this, and this is not. This is just, yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's very bad. Unlike VTubers, who are actually good in at least some are, not all. I mean, actually, it might surprise you, but I don't like all the VTubers. There are a lot of VTubers that I don't like, but some, I tell you, some are really good.
What is this?
Gambate. Internet. And see, Felix, your internet is still running because I played that sound 3 times.
That's the only reason.
That's the only reason.
Yes. Hi. So,
Hi. They made VR chat into an anime. It reminds me of the times when some NFT shills tried to make NFT anime, and it looked like complete shit, of course, because it's NFTs. Like NFT cringe. It reminds me, I want to...
Man, I kind of like in my head all of this programming wouldn't have been that much work. Sorry about that. So with some luck you'll be able to see something maybe in an hour or so. But I need to go through a lot of code here.
That's awesome. I love code.
Yeah, I mean, me too, but... So... It's also like a more... pretty, well, dump coding. It's just copying old code and need to modify it to fit the new data structure. So, I mean, that's probably better. I mean, that's how I can still make progress while having conversations in parallel. Oh yeah. So get swap box. That's actually para. Get screen bounce box. Perfect. Let's call this bounce. Okay. I don't care about
Wait,
the frost.
oh for fuck's sake, I used the wrong fucking soundboard again. I
Gosh,
used,
dangity dang.
you have to cut. You have to kick one of the soundboards, Felix, or I have to kick. Felix, quick!
What?
You have to kick one of the fretboards. I accidentally summoned the wrong one.
Be gone. I did it.
Which one should I? Cutting edge, right? It's
Cutting edge.
Okay.
It's the orange one.
Okay. Our soundboard thing is a big mess, Felix. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah? Is the web interface gone?
What is?
Is the web interface gone?
You can click on the music room.
Oh yeah, right. I got it. Yeah. Okay. No, I got it. It's okay.
Did you get it?
Yeah. I got it. I really got it. It's really has been gotten by me.
That is That's
It's
good.
very big gotcha. Oh, shut the fuck.
By the way, I started playing Volong.
Wo long ging es denn?
God damn it.
Oder
It's basically from the creators that made Neo. And Stranger of Paradise.
Chaos.
Chaos. And it kind of it's a kind of a crossbreed between Neo and Sekiro, I would say. But it's very, like, where Neo kind of honed in on those stat play, right? Where you build, where you get random loot and you use those stats and to increase your power, build a set and everything. This is kind of like, this gameplay system doesn't work in the new game, but it still uses it.
Oh,
So
okay.
it clashes a little bit, where you're asking yourself if these little changes even make such a big difference. It's kind of also like, imagine yourself, you're having a game like Neo, right, where you have a lot of different weapon types, right? All these animations already exist, and your weapon types are actually very varied, right? Every weapon type has a unique combat ability, and every weapon type also has 3 stances, including special attacks that you execute when you shield and press the attack button, one of the two. And now in this game, you have one mashy combo, one special attack, which is always the same. You cannot charge it or anything. And your special attacks are now forced on the weapons. And there are only a max of 2. All the weapons are basically the same. There's literally, I'm not joking, there's a sword, a saber, a curved saber. So there are 3 different weapon types which do exactly the same.
Yeah, nice.
Except the sword is like more piercing than it's slashing. Then there is spear, halberd, slashing spear, dual sword, dual hatchets. All these weapons play very... and glaive. There's also glaive, right? All these weapons play very similar. Obviously, like, the weapons are inspired by Chinese history more, right? So you have, like, that all makes sense, but like,
so there's a giant enemy crab?
for
Oh,
instance,
sorry, that was Japanese history.
and you kind of assume that, well, this team made weapons like a scythe that transforms into a glyph. You have tonfas, right? It had this, like, really fast melee weapon where you dash around, but You can dodge in this game, but it's pointless. Everything is down to parry. It's very much taking heavy inspiration from Sekiro, I would say, in that regard. But I feel like it's like all these systems kind of like there are also no skill trees for the weapons. You have skill tree only for your spells. But the spell, you only learn the spells, and the spells are so goddamn weak. I don't know why I should use them. They're so weak.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
How can I hide an editor? I need it.
You can hide it via view. I mean, what is exactly? You need to be more precise. What's the use case?
I have this editor where I pick the audio event parameter, and then the parameter value. And if the parameter is not selected, I want to hide the value.
Right
I mean,
back,
one example would be to just remove the editor. You can remove a child editor, and then it will disappear. Because, I mean, do you recreate the editor, or?
No, I'm not.
I mean, alternatively, you can just get the input DOM and hide it. There's in the DOM utils, there's something you can use to hide and show DOM elements, or you just set the CSS property to display none or something like that. There's DOM utils, DOM TS. There is toggle visibility, or no, hide. There's hide and show. You can use DOM utils hide and show, and you just pass it like the DOM root of the editor, and it's gone. Yeah. There's also set visible, where you can use a bool instead.
Okay, both works fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's also unhide, which is a bit different, because instead of setting the display block, it will just set display to null, which is usually what you want.
If you set it to null, it restores the original CSS.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, and that's usually that's better here, because there's display flags too. Great. Did you add the center?
I think he's gone.
Yeah,
You know how he does
I'm
that.
pretty sure he added it then.
But yeah, like sad to see one of my like favorite games. Like I like, maybe it's just because they have like this Chinese setting and I wanted to do something else. They do have like a moral system, and you can actually have NPC companions like in Stranger of Paradise, which I personally find very distracting because the game is so fast and enemies will just attack your companions with big attacks, and you can never rely on them to not, first of all, die immediately anyway. It was kind of like, why are you here? You this big Chinese general. You died to like, fuck. What's happening? What genre is Undertale?
RPG. Lol. Mother-like.
Mother-like.
Mother-like, oh shit. No.
An adventure.
Earthbound-like.
Adventure game. You go on an adventure.
Mummy-like, yeah. Mother-like, so it's the genre is your mom.
What? What's the genre? Your mama. Your mama. Anyway, I also played Fiat Rhythm, the Final Fantasy rhythm game, which is a delight, except the audio delay bug. But Otherwise, it is a very nice game where you play to the music of Final Fantasy, and it's very approachable. It even has a simple mode where you just need to press the button to the beat. There's not even like any complex input. So you can you don't even need to be into rhythm games to enjoy like the 500 plus tracks. It also reminded me of just how boring Final Fantasy XII music is to me. This music, there are a few really good ones, like Rabanastra, the theme, epic. Esper fight theme, epic. Dalmasca, East, epic. Everything else is a snooze fest for me. It is so it's boring to play because the game is basically an RPG and a rhythm game. You actually make a party and give them abilities, and you have quests that you need to fulfill in a given track, and they really make you change up your characters, which I like. You can't just bomb rush everything. Sometimes you really need to think, okay, I need this character to create fast damage so I can get to the boss and then use my boss abilities. So if you're into rhythm games, this one is definitely definitely worth the money, I would say. Like, I'm already feeling bad that I paid like $70 for Wolong. Ugh. It's probably not even that long. Ugh. At least it made me like I think every version of the Damascus Descent is lit. Just a great theme. Is there a mommy-like character now? Wu Short. Yeah, it's more like Wu Short, apparently. It's also it tries to be more like Ninja Gaiden, where you go from one location to the other, right? Not like Neo, where you always land on the overworld map and have this mission structure. But the mission structure is still there. You can, at any save point, travel back to a mission and then start a mission. You also they somehow Chad. You know how in games you sometimes have throwing stars, right? You press a button, you throw the throwing star. So in Neo, there were actually builds for that. You could build a ninja which would throw daggers that create lots of damage, right? And they had custom animations for throwing very fast in a row. In this game, they completely botched that. Instead of being an item, you slot your throwing weapon into your ranged weapon slot, and then you need to aim and then shoot, and it's very slow. I don't know how they made throwing weapons bad in a Souls game. But I can just play Neo 2 again.
Yeah. Might be that 58012 music is probably not a good fit for a rhythm game because it has a lot more calmer music, I would say.
Yeah.
But
sure.
I mean, it's still Hitoshi Sakimoto music, and there was still a lot of tracks that I enjoyed. For me, the only Final Fantasy where I really thought all of the music is really freaking boring was actually Final Fantasy 0.
Oh yes, I agree.
Oh man, this is special because it's not even. I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy music. I'm kind of a fan of most Japanese music for some reason. Like a lot of music in Japanese games I enjoy, especially JRPGs. But this was so freaking boring, for lack of better word. Like whenever I hear random Final Fantasy music and there's one track that I really really dislike, it's usually 5v0. It was
it had,
so
like,
strikingly bad for some reason, in my opinion. Yeah.
It like tried to. For me, it always felt like they tried to make movie music.
Yeah.
You know, and that it didn't gel well with it being a goddamn game.
Yeah.
There's like, it has that one cool melody I remember. I have to say, in Fiat Rhythm, I have not yet played any mission for Type 0.
Right, it was actually called Type 0.
Life
Actually,
is too
I
short
never
for
played the game, but that really doesn't
Ah.
matter because I enjoy a lot of music from games I never played. Like, I do enjoy 5v30 music a lot, specifically, even though I do hate the game at times. So
Same.
it's like
I
it
don't
has
like the
really
game.
freaking good music. Also, like the second and like Lightning Returns has so many amazing music that I still like to hear.
I also like Lightning Returns in terms of gameplay.
Mhm.
The story is like, but I loved Final Fantasy X too. I still think they really had the coolest job system. It made you really want to grind it all out, and the short game time really made me replay the game. Like, I was really interested in seeing what happens if I do things differently. And it's one of the few games from Japan that actually has that, right? Like, where choices actually have a different outcome.
That's true.
And
I never played 5v10-2 that much, but I know my mother played it several times because it has so many choices. Yeah, I also think like the 5v7 remake soundtrack did have a few music tracks that I really enjoyed, but I think overall I prefer 13's music for the most part. I know, like, there's like the big nostalgia to 5v7 always, but some of the arrangements are more on the epic side, and I'm just not a big fan when music is just very epic. Like,
you mean like in the remake, right?
Yeah, in the remake.
Yeah, the remake had a lot of also custom variations and arrangements, right? And that's always the problem. It's the Star Wars problem, you know, where these themes are so ingrained in our brains that if they deviate too much from the original, they
you start to learn to not like them.
Yeah, and so they hone down on keeping it the same and just make more epic sounding.
Yeah, maybe it's sad, but it does have a couple new tracks, and I think I enjoyed those for the most part. Like, my favorite track from the remake is definitely High Five, and I still don't believe that Nobuo Uematsu made that track. He's the one written and composers in this track, and I don't believe it. I will never believe that Nobuo Uematsu did this track. It sounds nothing like his style, nothing. And maybe they said it's Nobuo Uematsu because at the very end of the track, they quickly added, I think, one melody from the Death from the Battle theme from 5v7, and said, yeah, sure, that's Nobuo Uematsu's composition, but the track is like something different. That's not the same. Yeah, I think it was Mitsuki.
Don't underestimate the mate.
Huh?
Don't underestimate. He made like games for he made like music for 9 games, right?
I mean, yeah,
he also wrote the Holo track, right?
The Holo track?
Yeah, the theme song for the remake, which sounds very much like Crisis Core. Let's be honest, it's a very Crisis Core-y theme. I mean, like, if you would ask a new person that doesn't know his music, right? Would you think that they recognize the difference between Final Fantasy VII, let's say, and Final Fantasy IX? Or Final Fantasy VI and Final Fantasy IX, because those are even similar in some sense, you know, but with that opera theme.
I think Nobuo Uematsu always had like a certain style that you could recognize.
Really? Like,
I think so.
Final Fantasy IX is so... He writes really cool melodies, I agree. Like, that's what I think. Like, he writes... he comes up with melodies.
I think the
what
one thing
so
about Nobuo
memorable.
Uematsu that surprised me the most was like when he went full, kind of like doing these more metal-like music pieces and 5Z10 and stuff. Like that was the most surprising thing I heard from Nobuo Uematsu.
Even after Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah. Like to me, those all seem, they seem to follow a certain style
Oh,
that
you
I
haven't
do
watched
recognize.
Advent Children, right?
I did watch it.
Because like there he already like did the. But he was actually a big inspiration is Western rock for him.
I
Always has
think
been.
what was it that the one thing that Dennis also is looking so much into what I forgot it.
What do you mean, the game?
Like this music genre. Progressive rock, that's it. Yeah,
Progressive
like,
rock, yeah,
he's so
progressive
much
rock.
into progressive rock and you can hear this in a lot of his music things.
Yeah,
and that,
into the kind of
yeah.
almost classic progressive rock. I
Yeah,
would say.
but Hi-Fi sounds nothing like that. It sounds so much more like something one of the FF13 composers would have done. So much more. Like, that's why I think maybe they just labeled it lazily and didn't think much about
I don't
it.
think so. They don't discredit the right people.
Yeah,
Maybe he was just very inspired,
sometimes in the way sound files are edited, some mistakes happen. Like,
but I mean, like, he would. It would be mentioned on the official pages, right?
I mean, Setstick said it's 100% Suzuki, and yeah, I would believe that. I'm not sure who was Suzuki again. Yeah.
That's how we finally were able to find the One Piece.
Hi, Hannah. Yeah, thanks
Because
for the
Yeah, I understand why you're like high five. I just listened to it.
Yeah.
What did you say, Felix?
We were just discussing Final Fantasy music and how I said that like High Five is like this one new battle theme in Final Fantasy VII Remake, and for some reason in the credits there's Nobuo Uematsu, and I just can't believe Nobuo Uematsu did this thing. That sounds like nothing like him, and like Setstick also agrees that's 100% somebody else.
Maybe the old man thought, now I will do something.
Yeah, but I agree. Like, I really love the section 5v7 remake. Like, not just the battle music, but also like the field music in between. That is like, I really enjoyed that game in many occasions. Actually, I was also 5v7 remake is to me like the realization that okay, finally Square Enix managed to produce some good writing, because I did enjoy the 5v7 writing, and I'm very happy to say that, because up to this point I was always disappointed about whatever Square was producing in Final Fantasy.
You haven't played Final Fantasy 14 though.
I didn't, yeah.
I mean,
and that
yeah,
one is
14.
probably better from what I heard, yeah.
Felix, please start Final Fantasy 14. I'm sure
No,
It's like 100 of hours that you need to play to get to the good part. Like,
yeah. I'm sure
but the
it
writing is
won't.
still good. But like the like everything until you get to Heaven's Sword, then you need to fight through Stormblood to get to Shadowbringer again.
Square Enix are also the developers of Final Fantasies. They do have certain development. I mean, Square Enix was originally, I think, a developer, and then they were just successful enough to become a publisher.
You mean you mean Square Enix? Yeah.
Square Enix, yeah.
Square Enix.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, we're talking about too much interesting stuff, and there's nothing happening. I'm working. I swear it.
Okay.
I'm working now. Work.
Yeah, they brought like Western Studios too, which they then sold again because it wasn't what they thought it would
Wasn't
be
it Squaresoft? Yeah, before it was Squaresoft. Before it became Square Enix.
I'm
Yeah,
just
they
gonna
merged
remove
with Enix, and then never again we saw the good Enix project.
Drag Start.
Lost,
Only Dragon
except
Quest.
Dragon Quest, of course.
Only Dragon Quest, nothing
Only
else.
Dragon Quest.
Wait, wasn't... What was... what else was Enix, what they're still doing? Enix.
Well, the Actraiser, I think, right? No, that... Whoa.
Yeah, that was also Enix, I think, but that's also kind of... List of Enix games. Let me just check. Yeah, the Actraiser, of course. Right, Star Ocean was also by Enix. on the Enix part and Valkyrie profile. Those
Star
were also
Ocean,
the
Enix, and Dragon Quest. I mean, that's.
And wait, Grandia was published by Enix. I totally forgot that.
Oh.
Maybe, yeah.
At least Grandia 2, not Grandia 1, I guess. Okay. And a lot of games that I think are mostly known in Japan. X of Steel, Charlie's Excellent Adventure. What the fuck is this? Okay, I see. Oh, Mischief Makers was also by Enix. Interesting. What is this?
That has to be Mystical Ninja, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Wait, Augury Battle was also?
So we're publishing the prequel.
What is it? Yeah, Goemon. That's Mystical Ninja Goemon.
Yeah.
Because even later in the N64 game, there's like this dog sound, and apparently they just integrated that into that track. It's like the night wolf, or the night dog. It's only there when it's night and all the time. Always getting nostalgic when I think about Mystical Ninja staring Goemon. That was such a crazy game.
You know, that game made me learn what the word cucumber is.
That's always good to know what a cucumber is.
What a cucumber is.
What a weird thing to learn.
I mean, aren't you glad that you know?
I guess.
See? I always forget that Ogre Battle and Tactics Ogre are two different games. But from the same series, more or less. Interesting. Very interesting.
Hey Tiflora, are you going to be doing sound design for Project Terra? Yes. I see you're expanding into other areas of game dev, but I'm curious to know if you're still doing some sound for the new project. Yes. So far, I made all the sounds in the game that are in there.
That's correct. Okay.
I suspect that we will at some point get help again from I forgot his name. Who did also some sounds on CrossCode?
Iron. Yeah, he might help us.
Yes, Iron.
Aaron.
If it gets like too much for me or something like that. But yeah, for now I'm also doing sounds.
Cannot read property of undefined. Wait, what? What is this?
What?
Oh my gosh, this is so stupid. Yeah.
You missed a null check.
No, I did have a null check. The only problem is I didn't return in the null check. Look at this. From Eri. Oh yeah, here's the new rage. Now continue and crash. Now perish. Okay.
But this game is ugly.
Death and destruction.
Have you ever heard of a game called Paladin's Quest? It was like a Super Nintendo RPG. It was
Long time, hello there, long time no see. I was hyped the other day when I saw CrossCode speedrun on GDQ. Oh yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, we got a speedrun on GDQ finally.
Yay, right.
That was a very fun one too. Especially seeing the level 99 run at the end.
There were even some new things in there where I was like, oh, like how they abused the tutorial to skip through the barriers.
Yeah, like the craziest thing I didn't know is you can make bombs explode and then
Yes,
quickly
that
switch
too,
to
that
another
one
map,
too.
and the explosion happens on the other map, and I was like, what? No way!
I was also like, no. I was also like, wait, we don't clear those?
I mean, I could have sworn I did, but
Oh man, that's interesting.
yeah, there's always the thing about perfect pixel perfect, like frame perfect timing, like shit happens.
That's amazing.
Never occurred to me that, like, gotta say, it never like happened that we had to like make sure such things wouldn't happen.
That's funny. That's really funny. But so you basically have to change the map in the with the right timing, or how does it work?
And the moment the bomb explodes, you change the map, and then the explosion goes off in the other map, or is already going off, but it's like on a timer, right?
Yeah,
So it's active, and then you switch the map, and it's still active, so it destroys any blocks in that location. And it just so happens in that one room that they explode exactly the two kamikaze like bomb destructibles, right? So you only need to do one of the kamikaze explosives. Like, what? I was like, wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Crazy. Okay, now we got the parallax entry here. It's you can already see it moves like a parallax a little bit, right? Even though there's no graphics. I need to implement the graphics selection next. But that shouldn't take long. So I will just save that. If I save it and load again, do I actually see it again? Yes, even though it's only a point. Damn it. Why is it only a point?
Oh, seeing those trees, I really need to like do a pass on the trees. I forgot about that.
Oh, I mean, they look fine to me.
Yes,
Too many holes.
too many holes, and it leans a little bit back. Not just a tiny bit, though.
Yeah.
Tiny bit.
Okay, why is this happening? Why is this happening?
Nice, it's not worth a patch. Yeah, we're not gonna patch anything in CrossCode anymore. So it's no worries from our side.
No.
And also we made...
Don't
we
say
made
this in
older...
Hennes' presence.
Also, it doesn't matter because we have older versions specifically for those speedruns.
Yeah. I mean, I'm joking, but we will definitely not patch stuff like this. I mean, the only thing that are still unpublished, let's say, via hotfix is like some minor typos and collision bugs, and then we're not really going into fixing technical stuff anymore.
Mm.
It's done.
It's done. But you know, I'm gonna check something real quick. Did we ever get more typo suggestions, typo fix suggestions?
Wait, scale is 001? What?
There are no more typos officially.
Why is scale so small?
Why so small, scale?
Seriously.
Which means the game will be stuck with a mostly useless modifier. Yeah, there's this thing that...
Also, chat, I met a dog today. Well, I met the dog of a friend today again. It was very pleasant.
Awesome.
It's you actually know the dog, Flora. It's like the Ava's dog.
Wait.
GG.
Huh? What?
Like you remember the dog on Bider's
Yeah.
party? This dog.
Yes.
Oh, I think that's why.
Like he's like so small. He's actually a cat. You know, he's cat size. Basically.
I mean, there
Doesn't qualify as a dog. But he has the like typical dog thingies, right? Where he's like excited about people. You know, wants to be touched all the time. Comes to you when you tell him.
That's nice. I actually never... Okay, maybe I can talk a bit about my vacation. Because I was actually in Thailand for 2 weeks. And the nice thing about Thailand is that the cats are just incredibly chill in Thailand. They don't run away. They just sit there, and you can go there and you can pet them, and they don't care. Some even like it.
Some even like it.
Yeah, and at some point we were staying at some hotel where there were 2 cats nearby, which were almost like dogs. They were running towards you, and they wanted to get pets. Like they just wanted to be pet all the time. So,
I mean, that happens. That those kind of cats you even sometimes have in Germany, especially in like smaller towns.
Yeah, that especially in smaller towns that could be.
Yeah. But even then, it's like I wouldn't even say a coin toss. It's like if you throw a dice, and if it's a 1, then you get lucky, and they are cats that want to be pet. If you're a 2 or 3, then maybe they won't run away, and the rest is like, no, stay away from me.
Yeah.
They
They have their own will.
Yeah, of course.
I think they're still like, it's probably just nature, you know?
Yes, and nature is the best teacher. Where is it?
I feel like even if a cat like uses her claws, or their claws, like I'm always fine. It's just
it's
like the
as
cat
long as they
from-
don't bite you, then it's
Even that, like the
it's cute.
cat from my former roommate is also he likes to bite. He's like he has the nibbles, you know. He
okay.
he always starts purring, and then he like licks your hand, and then he likes to nibble on them a little bit.
Okay.
And he cannot he doesn't have the ability to like retract his claws. So when he's like touching something, he just instinctively has to use his claws too.
I see.
You get used to the pain. It's just like a minor scratch after all. It's
That's
fine.
how they leave their scent on you. Because they like you.
But like her other cat doesn't do that. Her other cat is like, yeah, touch me, it's fine, and you can touch my paws, it's fine too. You
It's
know,
nice to sometimes
I
have those
will
cats.
talk to you like also like the more like active cat, right? Like the male one is also like he has the cutest meow, while the female one has like a very annoying meow, like meow meow, and the male one is like meow. You know, even though he's basically the asshole in the family. But I don't think he understands, you know, he's just like a cat and he wants to play with the other cat, but the other cat doesn't. He doesn't get it. He's too stupid. You can see it in his face. He doesn't understand. Yeah, like
I'm getting
I remember having wounds from the baby cat when he was a baby that he probably did while I was sleeping. Like I woke up with them. I was like, alright, I guess the cat had to like claw me.
Oh, vectors don't have a detail step. Let me just add the detail step.
Vectors?
Yeah, vectors don't have a detail step property. Like there's a step and a detail step. Like you can hold shift and you get a detail step. But all I probably need to do is just forward this property. Let's see.
Actually, nowadays TypeScript provides a lot of better tools for these things that we're doing there. For reusing the sub configuration and stuff like that. So technically, you could also just extract sub configurations. We actually did this for some editors, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I think Vec Editor could probably just extend number editor if it really has all the properties.
Also, something that is kind of like it is what it is now, right? Where we sometimes have a object or like a configuration and interface, and we have all the properties with a question.
Here we go. Right. Sub editor, and now I have to get detail step. Need to forward this. Okay. That should be it, really. Because I want to have detail step here. 1. Or 4 by default, 1, yeah.
Dog girls are balancing kangaroo. I love I love cats and dogs. Both cute.
Did anyone say dog girls?
No. I don't subscribe to your black and white worldview, chat.
But hey, selection of paradoxes already works. Nice. Even when I...
Did the team have any core design philosophies going into Terra?
Oh yeah, you asked this already. Sorry, we missed it the first time around. Yeah.
Any pointed takeaways from CrossCode that you wanted to suggest? Oh yeah, lots.
Yeah, yeah. That's actually something we did mention a lot in any core design philosophies. I'm not sure if our design philosophies changed a lot. I wouldn't go that far because overall CrossCode was a success for us. So we just designed the game similar in the way we design CrossCode in many ways, but we want to just do better in several things that were more criticized in CrossCode. Foremost, just shorter dungeons, because I think that's very common, and also trying to do something about puzzles that people enjoy them more on average. Mostly simplifying the execution and doing less puzzles at once. So puzzles will likely be less puzzle dense in Project Terra. And we probably do something about puzzle difficulty where we will maybe try to make the really challenging puzzles not mandatory. At least that was one approach. Okay, that works. That works too. Nice.
Someone said dog girls.
Good our best.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh damn, the PC release for Wolong apparently is very bad. Mostly negative on Steam.
What? Wolong? Wolong?
Yeah, apparently that has a very bad
What game was it again? I know you mentioned it, but okay, no, I got it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that some people will be disappointed about the fact that Project Terra will likely not have puzzles as brutal as CrossCode, but that's just the difficult thing about game development and creating entertainment things. Like it's impossible to please everyone.
That's just in the main plot, right? We can still do complex puzzles.
Yeah.
You know, when we have an idea for a puzzle, maybe doing the dungeon creation, we say like, all right, it's actually pretty complicated. Maybe we take the idea, put it in a folder, you know, and then use it in a side quest.
Yeah. Cool.
Because we definitely want to use side quests where we can use the dungeon puzzle elements this time around more. We didn't do that much in CrossCode actually.
Okay.
I enjoyed the puzzles because I was shouting all the time. It was really fun for me.
Okay, I mean some people just
and
enjoy
next time
that, I guess.
we do what the one YouTuber said and like ship our game with a limited edition beach tower. Biggest problem with puzzles, they can't have a difficulty slider. You say that, but we had. You can have a difficulty slider. Yes, you can. For instance,
the difficulty slider was only for the execution of puzzles.
Yeah.
But if it's about finding the right solution, that really is difficult to make with a slider. Because you need to design multiple puzzles. Or maybe we can add hints. Like
yeah, but you know, like I think hints is like I find them very, very annoying. If I'm being honest. Like every AAA games these days has these hints, right? And they range from little hints, which are already annoying because like sometimes I just take a little longer to solve your puzzle, right? You don't need to give me a hint like 2 minutes in.
I mean, the biggest issue is when people force the hints on you if you don't even need them or want them. Like, but providing the option for hints, I think, could be good.
Like it's strange to me that the AAA developers think of so much, right? They're so good at like handling like these big projects, but then they say like, oh yeah, everyone, even the core gamers who played games for years, definitely need explanations for this little box pushing puzzle. I feel like, no friend, I really don't. All right, I'm just slow, but I'll get there. Definitely, God of War was one of the worst examples for that. Like, I like the game, but Jesus Christ, man. Does this kid never stop telling me how I should, like, go about the puzzle?
Boy?
Boy.
Like, no. In God of War, it's the boy that tells you the puzzle. It's more like, Dad, maybe look over there? Is that crane what you're looking for? Like, shut up, I just arrived, man. The problem with making a hint option is also like, obviously these hints need to be written. It's work.
Yeah.
We could use AI for that, you know.
Oh my gosh. Maybe. Oh boy.
Make a hint character. Yeah, I don't know if you want every dungeon. No, it's not crosswords.
Honestly though, yeah, I mean, for Crosscode we could have made a feature like, hey, how about you ask Sergey and he tells you a solution. That would have been an elegant integration of just to make a D-link to Sergey and he gives you a hint. I'm sure we could come up with something for Terra, but it is work, so we have to see.
Yeah. I'd rather say, like, as Felix said, like, make the puzzle sets execution heavy, but just let you, like, figure it out on your own pace.
Yeah, like,
maybe
I think
maybe the puzzles were too long, like there were too many puzzles in the dungeon.
Yeah, and I think
the puzzles themselves were bad.
Yeah, like I think for Crosscode it was more like the puzzle execution. Whenever I saw people complaining of the puzzles, they didn't even say, no, it's too hard. Like, it's more like I already know solution was just too annoying to execute, and I get that. And that's mostly what I want to make more straightforward, like simplify the puzzle execution, make it less about precise aiming and timing. And yeah, beyond that, you see, it's just very hard to make really intuitive puzzles that are also not boring. I think that's impossible. So to some extent, puzzles will be somewhat where you need to think a little bit, because that's honestly what people appreciated about Crosscode, I think, too. So a lot of people enjoyed like this feeling smart moment of getting
the
solution.
Soul, you know.
Yeah.
Where you get satisfaction out of the fact that you figured out the puzzle. Also, I think it's a good lesson for us to learn to never do a ice dungeon as the first dungeon.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a bit unfortunate.
That's also unfortunate. Maybe don't do a sliding around dungeon at all. Have ice physics, but have the player just walk on them. Fine. Because I saw a lot of people being annoyed at it, or maybe make it in a smaller optional thing, you know. Because people got really annoyed at that very
At what?
fast. At sliding around on ice.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
have it in a side area maybe as like for Hennes trials maybe, right?
Yeah.
Or at
Yeah,
least-
the ice dungeon
Was the best,
was quite
and everyone
something.
likes them.
It's like we were not joking around. First dungeon, here's ice physics. It was,
At least we had a cool system that we built with that for like influencing the players' movement and stuff.
probably
That's
should
true.
do something similar, because that worked well overall.
Yeah.
It's just that we will use it not that early. This
Yeah,
time.
it was
You know, with great power comes great responsibility.
always this was always like the problem with how we put it, how we were. We immediately, we relatively quickly tried to make stuff in crosscode that suited our own ideas of difficulty early on, that we had to dial back a bit in hindsight.
I mean, like, we never, I think we just didn't think too much about it. We just went with the flow. We just decided, okay, first you get the heat element because you're on top of this mountain, so there should be ice. That makes sense. And then we realized, oh shit, I mean, what makes sense for ice? Yeah, sliding physics. Yay, we made sliding physics. We thought it was fun. Then we implemented the full ice dungeon. Actually, the first time I really noticed that probably wasn't the best idea was after we released the whole thing already, like a 2-hour dungeon, and I saw people playing it, and I still remember we were actually at Games World. What was it? Like this one stream with DK together with other next 30 developers, and I saw Dennis playing our lovely first ice dungeon, and then I started to realize, okay, ice physics.
Full release, I think that was like
early access time. Yeah,
during early access.
During exercise, Dennis was playing crosscode there. We were live there. He was playing it, and I was looking at him. I thought, oh, it's just the first dungeon. It can't take that long. And then he was trying to get to deal with the ice physics. That's when it kind of hit me. Maybe that was the best idea. So.
Funny enough is that was also the first time that you realized, oh yeah, nice, you could actually just use the fire ring to deal with some of those ice puzzles.
Yeah, we didn't plan this. So
we did also implement a modifier.
Oh, here's another question. What was the overall response to the dungeon races? I think that's another design choice that I regret, and I think the overall response is people complained. Like, either people didn't care about them, or people complained about them. I don't really think it was a popular feature, and I fully understand
like,
why it was.
Story-wise, it was maybe because
it made sense story-wise, but it put some very bad pressure on players, especially those to play for the first time, and that have this completionist urge of being first, and connecting this race thing with a whole dungeon that goes over several hours. It was another kind of dumb decision. So yeah, like I regret this personally, but it's like not something we can just remove since it's so integrated into the plot. We like from the beginning, we made sure it doesn't really have any big consequences except one achievement.
But achievements are a big consequence.
Also, we shouldn't do this. We should think of other ways to make one final achievement the hard achievement, you know. Like for instance, one of my favorite hard achievements that is really hard to get, where every other achievement was super easy, is Lego Rock Band. You could do every achievement in that game, and it was very easy, but there was one achievement which was harder, and it was, I think, hitting every note in a solo from Final Countdown, which was genuinely tough. But that was the one thing, you know, it was still doable. You know, you maybe need like a few tries, but eventually you would get it. And something like this, I think, works better instead of something where you need to play the entire game.
The problem is like, you need to redo the whole game, and if the first time you play a dungeon, I mean, effectively you always have to play it a second time. You just don't want to do it. You just beat the first dungeon, you will want to continue. It was like, it was just a bad design choice. So, we could just make the timer more lenient.
Yeah, but I think we actually did, right? But it still suffers from the same issue that...
Yeah.
As a player, you also don't know the first time, for instance. If a new player just goes in and is like, alright, dungeon race. It probably isn't really a dungeon race. You know, it's just a story thing. There's no timer on the screen after all, you know?
Yeah, and then for some reason, Shizuka always, Emily's always winning, so that's weird.
Yeah. Maybe it's just a game thing, I guess. And some players were faster and they always won, and it should be more. If there's a timing component, it should also be visible to the player. You know.
That's
Like-
true. But I think it may have made things even worse because
Yeah, agreed, absolutely.
there's new Shizuka
think so.
fan art. Yay. Nice.
Yeah.
Where is this Shizuka fan art?
In Meteor in our Discord, and I just showed in stream here.
Theoretically, if something like Tencent, not even
Wow. King
would
Dodlin,
propose-
humble brag, Emily always lost to me. Damn. Natural at puzzles. I see.
I mean, we also had like this whole thing with getting an achievement for never losing to Citron, which is also something that you can very easily miss early on, which can be a
Citron,
bit
you mean
annoying.
Apollo, right?
I'm Apollo, yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
Apollo. It's also something that
What
can
you
be
did?
a
You
bit
did
annoying.
play like the secret Citron duels? Oh man, didn't see those.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah, that was another thing. Yeah.
If we would have made it possible, visible to the player, they would have known. But also, then they would have been forced to even still be stressed about it.
Then
Like,
there
oh,
would
I
have
can
the
take
pressure
that
would
table
have been much
from-
higher, and if
Yeah.
that's like the worst thing you can do, giving people complicated puzzles to think about, and then there's a timer. It's like this is just bad. So I was actually like I never would have added a timer even if people asked for it, because I think it would have made things worse overall.
I agree. Like,
So yeah, it was just an unfortunate bad decision, I think. It's hard to get rid of because it was so connected to the plot. Like the best thing we could have done was just not add the timer, just made the scripted fix. That probably would have been better.
and then I always like decide like here in this one Leia wins and this one Emily wins.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, like the dungeons were really the bad things. The Apollo duel is kind of like a hard achievement, but it's much more doable. Because like you immediately see it's just a short fight, right? It's easy to repeat.
But you still need to go through the story to get to those, which is the bad part about it.
Yeah.
You still need to play through the dungeons and everything.
Yeah, I mean that's the case for any achievement that's connected to any challenge that happens early in the game. So
right. So I would rather have the achievements like always be doable at any times. You don't need to replay the game. You know, and we now know people are really really liking achievements. I actually didn't think about it that much when I came up with achievements, because I was like, yeah, just achievements, who cares? You know, like I personally am very like not interested in achievements. Also probably because, you know, I don't have the time.
Yeah.
But apparently people like him very much, so we should make sure that we don't overdo it.
Overdo it what?
With the difficulty of the achievements, in terms of like how often do you need to play an RPG through an RPG, right? Especially if the experience is sort of the same, right? If it's like Baldur's Gate, right? Or Divinity, which is a game where you can play through the game multiple ways and different things, right? And have like different outcomes.
Did some game actually do this? You get an achievement for pre-ordering the game? That's just me.
What the fuck? What? How does that even work? Like in the Steam API?
I mean, you can check.
Do you check?
You can check, yeah, achievements, DLCs or whatever, and you get some pre-order DLCs.
Oh yeah, the pre-order is a DLC.
And then,
yeah, right. Yeah.
and then you get the achievement. I mean,
Yeah, like,
technically it's
technically-
possible. It's just
Technically, also
a
Steam
horrible
achievements
idea.
are like, yeah, yeah, that's all right. Yeah, like how achievements work in Steam is really just the game just says like unlock the achievement for the player. You can use a progression API. We didn't do that. Like we did our own thing because we had a stat system. We also have to see how we do achievements for Terra, because we cannot use Greenworks anymore.
How? I have a question again. How do I use wipe ref again? I have a manager that has a get ref list, Do I just...
Yeah, you vibe ref has as in the constructor, it should take a ref provider, and you
Yeah,
put it into the and you do that, and the get list should just return the strings.
I do that. It just says it doesn't have a get ref list function for some reason, although it's there.
Are you sure?
Yep.
I mean, what you can do is always use implements. You know, implements the interface.
Yep, I do that too.
Maybe you use the wrong.
I use ref
Because it
content
should-
provider.
What?
I use the interface ref content provider.
I don't think it is ref content provider, but just ref provider.
Sorry, what is it?
Oh.
Ref content provider?
Can you Felix, can you open vibe ref? I'm
Is
not
the
on my
ref
work
content
screen.
provider that you need to add?
Mm-hmm.
So what doesn't work with ref content providers?
Like a compiler error, right? Oh, it is ref content provider, alright.
It's so weird.
So what doesn't work? Can you say it again, Flora?
I have the environment sound manager,
Yeah.
which is a database entry, and
Yeah.
it's also a ref content provider, which has the get ref list and returns all the names of the
Yeah.
things. But when I open that editor, it says this .content provider.get ref list is not a function. And
Okay.
I don't know, it just doesn't find the function of that object.
So it's a runtime problem.
A
not
runtime.
Runtime problem. Yep.
I don't know what kind of.
What are you returning? A string list or a ref entry list?
I mean,
I'm returning
don't-
a string list.
also get rough list the function, it doesn't exist.
No,
For some
you
reason.
can't.
Maybe you
return
just
a string
passed
list.
null. I mean, are you sure that the
Not now.
okay? Did you make a breakpoint before you access the method and have a look at where?
Yeah, I should do that.
Yeah, please debug your code, guys. It's possible.
Why, Fix, why are you putting me into
What is
this,
this?
right?
What is this?
What are you doing here?
Sorry.
Accusatory tone here.
Don't drag
Stop
me
being
into
shit,
this.
you guys.
God damn it.
Breakpoints.
I'm gonna
Surrounded by
backflip
idiots.
onto your
For some
patio.
reason, it doesn't give me
Then use console log.
preview. Yeah.
Use
Okay.
console log and
Content provider
output.
is an environment sound manager.
Does it have the method?
It has the method.
That's not possible. Just print out another console log where you just print out the method without calling it.
Are you sure you're giving the
Yep.
wipe ref the
This
content?
.content provider.get ref list returns a function.
Okay, can you just copy paste the code somewhere in the chat? I want to see what you
In Discord.
in
not
Discord.
in
Yeah.
Good shit. I mean, if it says it returns a function, then isn't that already?
Discord is kind of slow right now. I pasted in programming.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so we have content, Gantt reflex is content filter.
Maybe Felix's whip is real after all.
Yeah. And it crashes
and-
right after you if you continue there.
Yep.
What is the? Can you show me like the error it's throwing?
Yeah, give me a second.
Oh, it's already so late. I have to go. I need to sleep.
That is
Oh,
true.
it goes there several times. I
Oh.
see.
So maybe it's some recursive thing?
Yeah,
Oh.
now it's null. Can't.
Okay.
Or
So,
undefined actually.
yeah.
Is your editor including itself somehow?
Maybe you just somewhere create a wipe ref and the content is for whatever reason null, because that's something that TypeScript cannot check sometimes. Sometimes you have the right type, but for whatever reason the variable is null. So maybe just you can maybe add a breakpoint in the wipe ref constructor and check when content is null. Just make a breakpoint and maybe you see where that happens. Though that happens in construction, so this might be tricky.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Let's go. Doing some mapping meanwhile. By the way, Felix,
Hmm.
did our new mapping trainee finally get somewhere with her mapping trainee thing?
I mean, sure.
Okay,
She's still working on the map. Yeah.
okay. Is she regularly? Is she doing her secondary duty of regularly reminding you to watch that?
Yeah, she does this too, unfortunately.
Ah, good.
Every time you talk with her,
She's
she
learning very
forwards
quickly.
message. Yeah. Okay.
That was very good.
Okay, for some reason, it doesn't realize that the content provider is of a certain class. It's like it's just an object, not a class, or not an instance.
Oh.
Class.
Oh, wait. Do you clone a wipe somewhere?
Oh wait, I use it in climate, so there's some cloning happening.
Oh
there.
shit, oh shit. Maybe that's some wipe issue.
Yeah, I remember.
Let me see. Wipe config. Because when you clone, it might just clone the whole class, and when it does that, it tends to not. This is actually annoying.
Don't forget, kids, ever wipe properly.
Where's wipe base?
I mean, alternatively, I could just patch the list and just use a wipe choice.
Yeah, but I want to
wipe.
see how the wipe cloning exactly works. Because we might have this issue more often. If you clone, then you make a new wipe. No, that's something else. Well, that's weird though. I mean, I don't see how exactly are you cloning your wipes. Does this happen somewhere in climate, VM climate, right? Let's see. Clone optional wipe. Ah, there it is. Clone optional wipe. That's the method. Okay, let's see what happens here. Oh. Oh. there's a clone config content instant of wipe return clone. Okay. That's the issue here, because clone optional wipe goes through all the members of content and makes a new object. So that's clearly the problem here. And it only checks if it's instance of wipe. But it's actually now... how do you check if an object is only a generic object and not deriving to something else? Because everything is instance of object. How to check? Not helping. I think you can actually somehow get the prototype of an object and check if it's just object. Maybe that helps. But I'm confused about prototypes. That's why I need to. Okay. What is prototype of? Object get prototype of. So what does this do? I need to trust something. Okay, if I have an object. Okay, then... No, that's false. Yeah. Somebody know anything about this? How to... Oh! No, that's of course that's true. No. How do you check if an object in JavaScript is generic? Like it's not created from a certain class? Because I mean the problem really is if it's like created from... Yeah, type XX equal object, everything is an object. Any instance of any class is an object. The problem really is I want to find out if it has been... Okay, check if an object was created from any class. Not just one specific class. JavaScript, not Java. I'm sure there must be a way. Oh yeah, give me the object class. Okay. Okay, there's yeah, instance of doesn't help. Oh, constructor. Oh, constructor could be interesting. Okay, let's see what constructor is. Okay, let's create another B. Yeah, okay, whatever. What's a constructor of B? It's a method. Which is equal to... Ah! There you go. B constructor equal object. That could be it. That could work, Flora.
Okay.
If you just check here, if content and clone config content constructor is something is something else than object, then you don't want to clone the content.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Clone.con.
I think that works. Like, can you see what I'm writing here in
Yep, I'm trying to copy it here over.
I can also copy it in chat if that helps. Let me just quickly write it here. So, oh my, it's not and, it's, oh yeah, that's correct actually, yeah, it's and. Because content can be null, so you want to make sure it's not null. So I hope that works. Maybe there's some other thing that I'm missing, but I think if you're iterating over something, it has to be a generic object. Should never be an instance of a class. Yeah. Hopefully.
Let's see.
Are literals based on prototypes though? Try hello. Yeah, I mean, actually that's a good question. What's hello constructor? Yeah, the thing is, that's a string. Yeah, that's actually string. That's actually a funny way how to do type checks. Yeah, ask if the constructor is a string or if it's object. Yeah, but that's actually a bad thing to do, because what you're doing here essentially is converting a generic string to an object, which I understand is actually not very fast or something. I don't know. But yeah,
okay. I think that worked. I have another error now I have to fix first to see, but I think that worked.
Yeah, okay, that's good to know. That makes sense. Is plain object return object get prototype of object ist gleich null oder or. Oh, okay, let me check this. Object get prototype of oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that would also work. You can say object get prototype of. Yeah. Yeah, that works too. Yeah. No, that's a problem here. Let me show you. Hello instance of object is false, okay. Oh, that's interesting though. I wasn't aware of that. Damn, okay. I thought everything was an object. That was my mistake, but I guess that's not the case. That's only type of. Ah, okay, yeah, that's actually... Okay, let me just create a class. Okay. True. Instance off. Sanity check. Okay. Okay, yeah, look, that's the problem here. Instance of is not enough, because if you create any kind of class, the instance is also an instance of object, so that's a problem. Yeah. But if I say D prototype, or like I see constructor, it's not object right? Yeah, so that works. So constructor equal object seems to be working. But I guess this prototype is prototype of, or what was it? Forgot again. Get prototype of. Yeah, that works too. So get prototype of D equals object prototype. That would also work, yeah. Not sure if there's a downside of using constructor, but the issue with constructor is that it only works for classes, not constructor functions. I see. But yeah, the thing is we don't really use constructor functions in Terra. I think everything we are using essentially is a class, so that would work fine for us at least. Okay, but are you sure? Actually, let me check that. My constructor. Okay, I made a constructor. So let's see that re is gleich new my constructor. Because the way I actually understand is, yeah, no, it does have a constructor. Because the thing is, JavaScript, ECMAScript classes are really just syntactical sugar for the most part. Like, they don't really change a lot of stuff. So yeah, that would also work for constructor functions like this. If you say it's like equal object. Wait, oh no, what did I do? Oh no, oh no! I used one. Oh shit. Let's do this again. Okay, now E constructor, yeah, that's false. Yeah. Would you need to use your function library supplied objects? Fortunately, no. No, that's like we don't have a lot of libraries, so yeah. Sorry, I just changed the constructor of an instance. Shit happens.
But yeah, so far it works. I can pick from the list now.
Yeah, I'm not making a lot of progress, unfortunately. Okay, let me see. That's one thing I at least want to get done now, and it's selecting the graphics. If I get this done, then I feel like I managed to do something. Because then you can see some Parallax stuff, some graphics. So let's do this. Because we do have some great editors for that. It's actually text. Image. Wipe, quick pop-up, bloop. That's it, yeah. Nice, okay.
Do we have a map where we change the weather to rain? Or do we have to set that up?
Didn't you have like this Nix test map? No, this weather swap test map. Otherwise, we don't have anything right now. This climate swap test map. I think we scripted some weather change to test if it works independent of climate swapping.
Right. And probably Nix also needs the...
Content sync editors. Wait, how? Ah, sprite sheet context. That's the one I implement. Yes, that's the one. So let's see. Okay, so where's this used? Sprite sheets. Oh, sprite sheet preview data. Okay, let's see. Oh boy, oh boy. Why is everything so difficult? God damn it.
Game development is difficult. What?
Sometimes it is. I said Parallax someone. Okay, I got it. Okay. It's really inefficient, but I don't care for now.
Bum, bum.
actually, let's see. Because the data is actually exactly what the fuck? No. Yeah. This might be exactly what I need. Huh. Coincidentally. One of these rare situations where the names all match up. Like I didn't randomly choose a different name every time, which happens usually always. Okay, this is actually sprite sheet preview data, pretty much. So this is just like this. Done. Okay, this is missing. Perfect. So I don't have to recreate this data like a dumb idiot every time. So
That's very good.
it's inefficient, but I don't care for now. Most relatable. Yeah, to be fair, this is all editor code, so it's not really, doesn't have to be fast. It only has to run on our machines, and it's not like we use this every frame, and only happens whenever the editor check the tile sets. But you know, I had some easy way to make it fast after all, so all is good.
All is perfectly adequate.
Yeah.
Relatively okay.
Rose said it's your cue, but I don't know what that's about. What's that about?
That's what?
Power tile sets. Ball's good. All's, oh god. Okay, get context. Somewhere I have to have a get context. There's no got context. Oh no. Okay. Here we go. All right, that should be it.
Are you sure?
No,
Okay, that's
you're never sure unless you try. But unless I'm forgetting something, I think
a
this
very
might
anime
be
thing to
it.
say, Felix.
Yeah.
God damn it, trees, come here. Yes, that's the one I need.
Yeah. Okay. Something is not working.
Something is not Dajobu.
No, something is not dodgeable. Let's see. Somewhere it seems to crash. Okay.
There's...
Okay, sprite sheet context is for whatever reason not really. Okay. So why is that?
The question is why if anything.
Okay, I think maybe it's not I often make this mistake with those stupid context methods. That's okay, I would have on no. On context request, I knew it.
Felix, why?
I don't know.
Why did you?
That's it. Okay. So let's see. Yes! Look at this. Delicious image. Look at this! Magic happened. We have
Wait,
a
what?
parallax.
We
Suddenly
do?
parallax, yeah. It's
Oh
just-
yeah.
Suddenly we have a parallax, guys.
Ah.
Nice parallax.
That means that crosscode is finished.
Yeah, it is actually a crosscode is
Yeah, I
finished.
know. That was a joke.
Cool, nice. Wow! Now we get a whole bunch of subscriptions for finishing the parallax.
Aw.
Thank you!
Oh,
Thank
parallax.
you so much.
Nice.
Now we can afford a second parallax, actually.
Now I can actually show you all these options we have. Like, we can actually specify the distance here. But that's not all. I should be able to... No, that doesn't work. Not so fast. Like in theory, I should be able to just copy paste. Oh wait, I can actually! Look at this, guys. I can have multiple parallax entries. Change their distance. And now we have multi-layer parallax.
Multi-track drifting?
Look at this. Here we go. We're getting somewhere. Suddenly parallax. Yeah. Does it work in the game? No. Oh, that sucks. That shouldn't happen. Damn it. Why is it not working in the game? Does it work if I restart? Reopen? Yeah, that works. Okay. So maybe I should look at this. Okay, parallax entries are never attached. There are several ways on how this can happen. Okay, it happens in the game map. Okay, power entries are not passed correctly. Okay. I think I almost got it. Shouldn't be hard. Okay, let's see. What is the problem? Oh, I know. Okay, I know. Because at some point I just decided, hey, let's call that field parallax instead of power entries because it sounds cooler. And then everything broke. Names are really one of them.
Lionation attack.
Yeah.
And then the fire.
And like, I want to delete this. Even though I know it will probably break things. But this is... So many issues happen because of this. You know what? I would just delete it and see if anything else breaks.
Delete it. Delete this.
Okay, because now... I might get... Okay, let's see how many issues I get. Yep, I only get one issue, and that's the actual issue. So, let's see. Okay, it was a good decision to delete this. Yeah, why is it not working? Oh, look at who's there. Celio Hogane. Although it's been a while, I want to say that it's always a satisfaction to see progress in Project Terra and enjoy how the community also appreciate all the progress that has been done. But if there is one thing I can always say is that it needs more Parallax. Okay, yeah, we are working on that right now, so
Yes.
there will be more Parallax in the future.
Kind of forgot that more Parallax has been a meme.
Yes, I mean, god damn it, why is it still not working? You're supposed to work.
I mean, is it really a meme if it's true?
Okay,
Oh.
so that works. What is even happening? What am I?
What are you actually?
TypeScript. You're
That's-
supposed to check types. What is this? I mean, okay, strictly speaking, I guess that's something you could do. Ah, man, I just wrote dumb code. I mean, I think that
TypeScript
was probably on Friday evening, and just probably around 9 o'clock in the evening, just hacking together all kind of stuff. So it works. Here we go.
Let's
Nice.
go home, you're drunk.
Parallax scrolling in Project Terra, you know, next to all that 3D. We got it. Nice, nice, nice. Now we just need proper Parallax graphics. Whee!
Have confidence.
Okay. Whoop. No jumping on that tree.
And before anything bad happens,
頑張ってインターネット
still working, Felix. Still working. You
Yeah.
can't tell me otherwise.
Hmm. I mean, the cool thing about the new Parallax system, it's not based on layers. Instead, we are just putting a whole bunch of larger graphics in the background, and we can just put a lot of graphics there. So let me just show you what I mean.
First of all, that is very good, Felix. But second of all, my brain is so rotten that I was like, that you said the good thing about the Parallax is that it's not based, and I was, what are you talking about? It's very based. Based on what?
Mm-hmm.
Get it? Okay.
I get it. Yes.
Okay.
It's
It's very internet, and I'm very cool.
yeah. You
Okay.
like we can have a lot of these.
Wow.
Now I just need to improve the editing now. I also want to support actually resizings by just, you know, when you resize it, it will just crop
Based
a
in
different
Parallax
part.
build.
Yeah.
Huh?
based in Parallax build. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, long story short, we can have a lot of Parallax layers this time. Many more than in crosscode, and it's will be
That
very
makes it
fast, I
automatically.
think.
It makes it better automatically.
Yeah. It's also funny, you know, this might seem counterintuitive, like I'm increasing the distance and they're getting larger. But the way it works is when you have default zoom, they all will have the same size independent of their distance. And what happens is if you're zooming in and zooming out, they will change their size depending on how far away they are. And there, like, the opposite happens. If something is very close and you zoom out, it also gets smaller. But if you have something that's very, very, very far away and you zoom out, it actually doesn't change in size, because like the added distance due to the zoom out is just nothing compared to the distance that you already have to the object. Think like the moon, you know, if you zoom out, the zoom will have roughly the same size again in the background. At least I think that's how it works.
Yeah, that actually sounds relatively reasonable.
Yeah, I just imagine going backwards from a person having the moon in the background. You see the moon doesn't get smaller, but the person gets smaller, you know? This kind of thing. But yeah, so that's why everything gets smaller here the closer it is. So that's why. Yeah, will be interesting to work with that. Oh no, I removed like I had actually a rectangular here, which is the frame from which you see the game in like inside, how much you see from the map inside the game, and I just deleted that. Whoops. Need to add this again. Oh yeah. Anyway, so I think that's good. That was a big milestone I wanted to reach, so you actually can see something again. So that's good, I'm happy.
Yeah, it's very good. It's one of our main sensors.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but it does really look good.
I mean, imagine, no, you just need proper graphics, obviously.
Yeah, of course, but it's like good to have.
In fact, I do have a second graphic here. Let's try this actually. Oh, what is happening? Oh, wait. Okay, something. Okay, so much for. Yeah, it works. Like that part. That one doesn't. Why though? Oh man. Why are there bugs? Okay, that's interesting. It's like this one doesn't have any graphics. Okay, maybe I just made something wrong in the tile sets. Oh, what the heck? Okay. What is happening? Holy shit. Okay. Let's chill for a moment. What? Okay, this is weird. Though I have some suspicion what might be happening here. No. Okay, let me see tile sets. Felix, why did you make those bugs? You should have made it bug-free to begin with. You're right. I don't know. Was a bad decision. Now, oh come on. Okay, this is weird.
It's only to stretch the development time.
Yeah. So we can get more funding from. Okay, I hate this. Now it works perfectly. Okay, obviously. Okay, I will just ignore it. But here, look, we have mountains now. And I can copy those mountains and put a lot of them here. So many mountains. Let's just put them down here, so. Yeah.
I have rain sounds when it rains.
Yay!
But,
okay.
The only problem is they don't stop now. I only implemented that they start.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's
the first step.
That's the first step.
Yeah.
I mean, for a plane, you should.
And have to debug both. I want one thing to work, and then.
The thing is, I mean, if you were designing a plane, then it would be good if you also had the landing.
Wow! Look at this. I just put a bunch of mountains here and added some different depth values. Look what happens.
Yeah.
This looks already really cool for being essentially just a bunch of mountains, which are not really made for these kind of things, but it's still.
I mean, that's crosscode graphics, right?
Yeah, those are crosscode graphics from the Pharaoh temple. That's like some piece far from the background. That's not.
Oh yeah.
Not designed for what I'm doing here, But still, I mean, this looks pretty good already. For being essentially just thrown together. Yes. I mean, yeah. Game dev. Copy paste. Not unheard of. It happens all the time. Here, look.
No way. We always...
Mountains. Amazing.
Oh yeah, oh man, that's really cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
ignore
for
those
what it
holes
is.
down there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. It's also like we probably shouldn't do dithering that much in Project Terra because there's always some subtle scaling and that doesn't mix well with scaling. Dithering, you know. Dithering doesn't mix well with scaling like this. But yeah. We got it. We got some mountains. Whee!
And I mean, it's already pretty late, so... It's
Oh yeah,
really
I
cool.
actually made some camera movement here, so you can
Oh yeah.
see those beautiful mountains.
Whee, and jump into them.
Yeah. Whee! Ah, yeah. Then you die. Great. Yeah, her running looks so smooth because it has what, 30 frames per second, and each frame is individual.
That's the most the human eye can visualize.
That's right, Anna. Yes.
Oh, that's
How many
okay.
frames does it have? Yeah, 30 frames per second, and it had a lot of frames. I think Lea's run animation, if I'm correct, had 6 frames. Yunus has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Yeah, that's
8,
right.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Why does he have 15? Oh, that's 14. It's 14. Yeah, this one is the same with this one. So
And
14
and
frames,
that one was-
more than double as much. Yeah, and
And-
she also
and-
has like 16 viewing directions. So that's also
Yeah, but
Yeah.
That's all created or at least reworked by our animator, right?
yes. There was no Thomas painted and pixelated all of this. Yeah, every freaking frame. He obviously did all of the work. Thanks, Thomas. Only took him like 3 months, I think. No, this is generated with our system. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't zoom in too much because it breaks the illusion.
Oh no. So we can't do Dreamland R like
Yeah.
zoom ins and then do fun stuff.
Legit, give me a demo to just run around and I will be entertained for a couple of hours. Yeah, okay.
I mean, there is a way for you to get that. Just try to get into the German Amt for Bundesförderung or whatever. And then you might be able to-
I wonder if they ever tried that version.
Yeah, maybe they looked at if it starts. And
Yeah. Do you have a
and
way
then-
of auto-magically deal with possible holes in the background, or is it just something to watch out for carefully when doing it properly? Yeah, like, no, there's no automation here. Like, this is part of creating a proper parallax background. So, I mean, first of all, what you would do is create larger graphics. Something I would also probably do is that you can add huge color chunks, and then you just have graphics growing out of those color chunks. It just makes it much more stable. That's probably an approach I would take. But yeah, we actually had the same issue in Crosscode. Strictly speaking, we had a couple of graphics and we always had to assemble them in a way that it doesn't look weird. And that's doable. I mean, especially if you have like a lot of previews, you actually see those issues immediately. And when I add the rectangle again, you can actually check how exactly you just need to go on 100% zoom, and then you can move around and you actually see all the issues here. It should look exactly like this in the game, more or less. I mean, not exactly, but close enough. And then you can just move things around until it works. Yeah. Just pasting things everywhere and then... I mean, as I said, this graphic's not designed for that. Like, what you want is something that ends at the beginning down there and just has some rays in the middle. So that will work much better for an application like this. I also want to be able to flip graphics, so you can add some variations, and obviously you would have different graphics, not just one. And I think you can work pretty cool things with this.
I agree.
Okay.
I wonder, could you hide the map and only work on the parallax?
Yeah, I was actually thinking of that. Probably it will add an option that you can hide the map. But on the other hand, parallax are always in relation to the map, and you actually don't want to create the parallax too much where you don't even see it, right? So on the one hand, yeah, but on the other hand, I mean, the things you don't see, you don't care about really. So you just should see, okay, there's a hole, fix it, and then that's enough. But yeah, I might still add it because eventually you might need it. Because maybe there's too much stuff going on here. I mean, you can just go here and then you can see stuff again. So that's an option. Scroll down enough and yeah. Yeah, so actually I think it's about time to end the stream. I've been going for some time.
About anime, so sad.
Oh.
Anyway,
anything to talk about?
Nice. I just want to say Nagatoro is very good. I'm still a big fan of this one isekai that is actually pretty funny and good called Handyman Saito. It's very different, very fun. And also there is Tomo-chan, which is also very cute and wholesome. And by the way, did you know that some Discords ban the combination of words if you say it's funny and... No, wait, what was it? It's cute and funny. If you do that, then the messages will be censored.
What will be censored?
If you say if you use if your message includes the phrase "it's cute and funny," then it will be censored in some Discords.
Okay. What?
Because it's a dog whistle for some really weird 4chan nonsense. It's just a little fun fact that I realized recently. Funny stuff.
What is happening? Okay. All right. I forgot to ask, will this game have co-op? Maybe as a patch while after release.
Oh no.
Online co-op, never. Local co-op, probably also never.
I just want to say, Felix, please don't give them hope.
Yeah, it's like we're not making on multiplayer games. I'm sorry. It's just probably not gonna happen. For Crosscode, there was always like this idea of maybe doing it, and we never did it, and some people were pretty pissed about that, so we're probably not gonna give you any of that hope.
The thing you have to realize, we hate social interaction.
That's true. Yeah.
Please don't come to us. No, just kidding.
We just like our single player games. Okay.
We like our single player games, sitting alone in our rooms and eating Cheetos, drinking Mountain Dew.
Yeah. Well, you do this for online games too, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, right. That's actually more of an online game thing, but you know.
Right. So online ranked PvP only. Got it. Yeah. No. What? No.
No. What was it again? No.
Crosscode action MMORPG when? Oh no. Oh boy. Yeah. The irony of us creating single player games by our setting as an MMO gave people like the wrong idea.
Indeed.
Anyway, so any last questions that I missed?
I don't know. I haven't paid attention.
Could you do this in Crosscode? There was a question asked not too long ago. Maybe I can find the context again.
No way.
Could you do this in Crosscode? What I'm doing now, probably about how we do the Parallax. Like in Crosscode was a bit different. We had tile maps for each layer, and the game wasn't very that efficient in showing a lot of, like, theoretically we could have added a lot of Parallax tile maps, but I think eventually that would have slowed down the game because it wasn't optimized that well to do these kind of things. That's why for Crosscode we kind of limited the amount of layers, and for Terra we don't have to hold back, so we can add as many things as you want. It's probably gonna run fast.
don't have to hide our power level.
Yeah. So, yeah, so it's better optimized than crosscode in that regard.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
And I think that was it. So I don't see any more questions.
Yeah.
I don't think we also missed any question, at least no question that tagged Radical Fish Gains.
Yeah, I've paid a bit of attention on the site while doing my dualist dailies. I mean, while I'm mapping.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, you would have heard if I did.
Okay. Yeah, I would have cursed and stuff. Yeah.
Because dualist is so bullshit. I'm losing so many games, and that's not fair.
Yeah, must be the game. The game must be bad.
Must be the game. Must be
Yeah.
the ping.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, so this concludes our Gamedev stream. Any last
Indeed.
questions? Any last things to say before we
Say them now or
shut
remain
everything
forever
down?
silent.
Yeah. So,
Shut it down,
well, as
shut
I
it
said
down.
in the beginning, we will try to maybe do.
Felix.
Maybe we should try to go for at least 2 streams per month. That would
Yeah,
be
that
nice.
worked very well last month, but I mean, it's a short month. Things happen.
Yeah. Oh,
Also,
well.
important things before we forget to mention it.
Mhm.
First of all, super important.
頑張ってインターネット
Sarah's Fauna, best VTuber. Watch her, she's super cute and super funny. Second, we're having Cross Week next week.
That's true. We are having Cross Week finally again. So Cross Week means like part of the team will meet somewhere in Germany. This time it will be here in Saarbrücken. I decided to call them all here because I don't want to
You
drive.
don't want to travel.
Huh?
You don't want to travel.
I
Everyone
don't
has
want to
come
travel. I just want to stay here and wait for them
Yeah.
to get here.
I mean,
and
you
yeah,
traveled enough.
so we work on Project Terra for 1 week together, not over the internet for once. So yeah, hopefully we will have new exciting things to show after that. Sometimes
lot of
that
fun.
also happens, sometimes it doesn't. Like, I hope our cross week will be more productive this year. Last year wasn't.
Wasn't? I mean,
Uh,
I was pretty
Yeah,
comparatively.
I think I myself didn't feel that productive.
I mean, that's always the same with you. That's not a criticism, but it's rather you are around people and you can be asked stuff all the time.
People
so
ask
you'll
me
get
all the
distracted.
time about things. Yeah.
So you actually do you're actually more involved in.
Yeah, but
doing your
actually, that's
actual
also the
stuff.
reason why I made Parallax now, because I feel technical stuff something difficult to do on Crossweek. I actually want to work on more graphic stuff. I want to design dungeon tile sets together with Freeze and Thomas. So
Yeah, makes
actually
sense.
looking
That's something-
forward to that. That will be.
That's actually using your time very well in terms of being together with people.
Are you going to rename it the Terra Week or Crossweek? Just
No.
sounds better, so probably we'll stick with it forever.
Forever.
Yeah, that's how it is. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, hopefully we have cool
Thanks,
stuff to show
everyone.
after Crossweek next stream.
Thanks everyone for being here and being so interested.
Yeah,
in
we
this
still
game.
had
That is-
almost 100 people watching our rambling, so that's always impressive to see.
Oh, so many I didn't even pay attention.
Yeah. Okay. So thanks
I'm a
everybody
bad
for being
influencer.
here. Hope to see you again next time, and have a good time. Hope everything.
Felix. I didn't play the thing and whatever. Whatever.
Okay. At least we got our sign field. I heard this. I heard there was like an infinite AI generated Seinfeld episode.
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah,
also
yeah.
had to drop because it was generating very politically incorrect jokes and
Yep.
yeah. Nice work, AI. So
I mean,
yeah.
it's a work in progress, right?
Yeah, it is. So anyway, so I don't know what to say. I'm just waiting for the music to stop.
Oh yeah, just bye everyone. Thanks for being
Yeah.
here.
Thanks
stay
for Hannah
around,
and
follow
Flora to join, and also thanks to Stefan.
us- And also follow us on Twitter. Give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe.
Discord.
Play Crosscode. Okay, until then,
Yes.
bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.